All right, good morning. I think we are live on this Thursday morning, June 19th. Earlier than normal, but with the stock market being closed today, futures market is open until 1 o'clock Eastern time. Thought I'd do a little bit of a different stream. Make sure you can hit that, or make sure you hit that number 1 if I sound okay, as always. CJ Mack, morning. Brian, morning. Can you guys hear me all right? Labradabra, morning. Again, if you can hear me and if I sound audibly good, hit that number 1 if you don't mind. Joseph, good morning. Greg, good morning. Matt, howdy. All right. Sky Heaven, good morning. All right, looks like I'm in business. Hey, Lawafo, San, hit number 1, very good. All right, well, Grace, the stock market, yes, the stock market is closed today. Futures market will close early at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then it'll open back up at its normal time of 6 p.m. So I have no idea what we're really in for. I truly have no idea how long we'll stream. I suppose in theory, it could go all the way to the close at 1 o'clock, but yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how things play out here. But if it is just absolutely paint drying, barely any movement, then I'll probably call it sooner than later. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how things go. I think our first sign. Hey, good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Travis. I think our first sign will be at 9:30, which is in 15 minutes from now. And we'll just see, because normally that's when the New York Stock Exchange opens, and that's normally when the futures market kind of goes to another level in terms of its movement. But there will be no New York Stock Exchange open, so I don't know. Maybe this is just how it goes. But even this action here is not terrible. You can see here that I alerted this to our... If you're not familiar, just so people know, I'm not just making stuff up, but I alerted that bear flag to the community in our private chat. So there's a trend line there that I'd mapped out. And you can see that it broke right there. And over a 20-point move. 20-point move quickly, of course, then it just snapped right back up, which was kind of wild. But my point here is, that's some tradable action. I mean, a 20-point move to the downside, at least I'll only speak for myself. I can make movements like that work for me. I mean, 20 points is a decent amount. So that's got me hopeful that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be some quality movement where some money can be made. In fact, I didn't make money. I missed the down move, but as it started to come up with quite a bit of power, that's where I took that trade, which put $46 in my pocket. So I'll also be trading this. Assuming the action stays like this, I'm not going to be getting super aggressive or anything like that, because if it is lower volume, kind of choppy, then like I said, that's not an environment that I'm looking to be putting on a whole bunch of size in. As a reminder, if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. If you've never been here before, welcome. It's great to have you. No need to hit the like button. I understand you have no idea if you're going to enjoy this, but yeah, if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, hit that like button. Lots of flushes all morning. Yeah, there were some, and that's what I mean. This is what's got me somewhat hopeful. I mean, that was a nice bit of movement. Last night, I was not around, but like right here, look at this. That happened around 8 p.m. Eastern. Very, very potentially, I was going to say very potentially profitable, but I'm assuming you were short. Or very potentially maybe account ending, hopefully just a prop firm account, not your own cash account. Movement right there. Same with right there, profitable if you're on the short side. That was a big spike. So there's been some movements. It's really just, like I said, did I already point that one out? Another bit of movement. Even right there, some quality movement. So I will go ahead and get rid of that trend line now, and we'll see how it goes. This might be a good day for some people that think the NQ is too fast to try it today. Yeah, that's true. But on the same token, if people want to try the NQ, you can try the NQ with the MNQ. Just do 10 MNQs. Because as a reminder, 10 MNQ is the exact same as 1 NQ. And in fact, I think the reason why the MNQ is the most popular market out there is because it's the equivalent. But the big difference here is you can scale out, right? You can't scale out if you have one contract. But if you have 10 contracts, then yeah, you could sell 2 for profit, sell another 2 for profit, sell another 2 for profit, and then let that, So point being that a lot more flexibility right here. But they are the same. 10 MNQ is the same as 1 NQ. So that is another way they could try it. They don't necessarily have to try the NQ. I mean, I get what you're saying. Good morning. You started the live early today. Yeah, because futures market closes at 1 p.m. today. So that is why I started it live and not really a whole lot going on since the stock market's closed today. So I thought, yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know how long the stream will be. If it's just very, very slow, then... But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Aaron, love the trade you took before the Fed meeting yesterday. No, I didn't call anything. that could have spiked the other way too. I mean, I located a potential breakout point and stuff like that, but like I had no idea if it was going to spike up or down. But yeah, there was at least the area where I thought maybe if it broke, it could create a spike. But yeah, to be as fair as possible, that thing could have spiked downwards too. Like nobody knew what it was going to do on the news. Do you ever trade both sides of the move, i.e. doing a short and then once it changes direction? Yeah, yep. It's funny you bring that up because I did this a long time ago, which illustrates that point. Let's see if I can find it. Politicians. I don't know if this is going to bring it up or not. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there it is. Now, this is way back when I was talking about stock traders, but this applies to any traders. But basically, the whole premise of this blog that I wrote, and this was like probably 10 years ago, was that we as traders, we need to be like politicians because we need to be able to change and flip-flop very quickly. So 8 cycles to cylinder was like, do you ever trade? Like, for example, are you ever short, and then just like that, you're bullish and you're going long? Absolutely. Just like a politician. You got to be a good flip-flopper, right? If you want to be a good trader, be like the politicians. You got to be a good flip-flopper. So that's, yes, I can't remember. This was like 10 years ago. I don't know if I was, within the context of this article, if I took this trade or not, but that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. How this thing, you could be bearish mindset, then look for some things, and all of a sudden you're in the bullish mindset. So like a politician, flip-flop. So yes, if you want to be a good trader, be like a politician. Got to be a good flip-flopper. But yeah, so that's funny you brought that up. But yes, I do that. And here's an article from way back when. I got trapped, but was able to. What do you mean you got trapped, Fernando? You weren't able to exit out of your position? Your broker froze up and would not let you honor your stop loss? What do you mean you got trapped? True, good morning. Good morning, Gene. Good morning, JJ. Marvin, good morning. Marvin, did you join the private community yet? Thomas Clay, do you use the VIX much to get a feel for the SPX trend? No, I don't use the VIX a whole lot. Really, ever. I mean, I'll glance at it every now and then when like things start to get crazy to see just how maybe fearful things are out there, but I don't use it. And there's nothing really similar for the NQ, but the VIX still does apply, right? Because if the VIX is spiking up, then no guarantees, but odds are the futures market is going to be very volatile because there's a lot of fear out there. Is anyone trading in a test account today, or is that is anyone trading in a test account? I'm not. Is what halted? I don't know what you mean by that, JJ. Really? I can't, and was told to wait till. I don't know who told you that. Yeah, this is I mean, I've made a trade. Okay, well, sometimes their first level of support has no idea what they're talking about. But yes, the futures market is open today. It's open till 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So be out of your trades. Be out of your trades by 1 p.m. Eastern. So that would be the ticket. My mom is joining tomorrow. Awesome, Jonathan. That's cool that your mom's into trading. Yo, Clay, how you doing? Trading crypto 2 years now. I'm back to futures accounts. Nice, worthy gains. Thank you. Thank you for leaving crypto. Day trading crypto, no good. No bueno. Day trading futures, way better than day trading crypto. Futures make crypto look like paint drying. I don't think I missed anybody's. Oh, do you ever use a reverse function? I have no idea what the reverse function is, so I assume I don't. What time are we at? Okay, we're 6 minutes away from when I'm curious of how if the futures market, if we see any difference at all. I don't think we will, but I don't know. Again, yeah, the crypto it's not as liquid of a market. So it's choppier. It's just, yeah. Not to mention the way futures just move as a whole and the way the points add up and dollars and cents add up. Futures, they're just better. In the category of day trading, they're just better. Everybody that's been on the live stream that has gone over and been open in mind enough to try it has come back. We haven't had as many crypto. The most we've had is stock day traders and options day traders go and try futures and then come back and report to us all. Oh yeah, futures are way better. In fact, DiCaprio here in the chat, he's our most recent person. He was trading a bunch of stuff though, but he said that, oh yeah, futures is where it's at. But yeah, I think we've had only 2 or 3 people that used to do day trade crypto, but those people all still came back and were like, oh yeah, day trading futures is definitely better. Oh, okay, Matt. Yeah. I know. So to answer your question, I do not use that. Top of the morning, Clay. My account got restricted because I held a position pat. Yeah, that's why. Exactly. DiCaprio, you're not, to make you feel a little bit better. That is why on this video here, when I passed my first ever test account, #1 lesson in this video that I talked about. Things of what I learned. But the first thing that I learned was to learn to love this button right there. Because that's exactly it. If you forget about an order, that's another way it can catch you. You hold longer than you're allowed to. You hold past the close and rule violation. So yes, learn to love that button. If you are with Tradovate, press it. You can never press that button too much. That's because that's the button that cancels out orders. So like if I put an order in down here to buy, and then I don't know, life happens or whatever, and I go away, and then I get filled. This could either roast my account because if I get filled with no stop and it keeps drifting, or into DiCaprio's, it's about the market's about to close, and then you get filled, and then you have no idea, and then you hold past. That's another way your account is roasted. So always, but watch when I click this gray button. If you just click this gray button, boom, that order disappears. So learn to love that button. No, stocks are not open today. He's talking about some platforms allow you to exit a trade while entering in the... Oh, gotcha, worthy gains. Okay. Yeah, early stream today because the market's closed early today at 1 p.m. Eastern. I typically day trade small caps, but the market... Oh my goodness, Aaron, that is... Yeah. You are... Aaron, that's wrong in so many ways. So many ways, Aaron. Like, small cap stocks made sense to do maybe 5 years ago, but at this point in time, it makes 0 sense to do. 0 cents. And that's like mathematically provable, 0 cents to do. So when I say it makes no sense, I mean that like logically speaking. And remember, logic is just math. Math demonstrates structure, and that's what logic is. It's structure. So yes, mathematically speaking, it makes no sense to be doing small caps, Aaron. That's a shame. That's a shame. Dude, the bear flag already played out. Ahmed, I was hoping you would take that. Remember, I already showed this in the chat. Remember, that's the line I drew? Look at that. It played out. Boom. 20-point move to the downside. I actually caught it. I missed the initial break to the downside, but I did catch it back up. So that's where this trade's coming from, Ahmed. But yeah, man. I was hoping you'd see that in the chat. Again, I am waiting in 2 minutes, and then I'm curious to see if we see any difference at all in the price action. Because in 2 minutes, it's 9:30, and that's normally when the U.S. Stock Exchange or the New York Stock Exchange opens, where you normally see more, the action gets a little bit more jiggy. But I don't know. I don't know if the action's going to stay the exact same, or maybe we do see it get a little more jiggy. But it's also, I'm not trying to create a political fight, but like, for example, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, like that's just well known. You just go do something. But like this is kind of a newer holiday. Do people even care about it? Are people celebrating it? I don't know. That's why I'm very curious. Like, are a bunch of people still sitting around getting ready to trade? Again, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, I don't know how many people are off like on vacations right now or doing cookouts or anything. So maybe there's a chance that a lot more people are at their computers right now compared to, like example, 4th of July or Christmas or, New Year's or, Thanksgiving. Can you pin the Discord? The right here is the Discord. All right, I'm falling behind on the messages, so I apologize. I was just wondering if there was a Discord thing. I'm not really. Marvin, you're breaking my heart. That Marvin. I might have to ban you after that comment. Unbelievable, Marvin. Marvin might have to get the ban hammer. Also, take a short video and picture showing your account has no positions when. Let's take a short video. All right, here we go. 9:30. Okay. This has got me hopeful. Okay. Yeah, okay. This is good. This is quality action here. Oh yes, please keep this up. Let's go. Okay. There we go. Now, how long does this last? That's another question, but we have hope. This is actually some tradable action here. Again, to be fair, maybe in 5 minutes, it's doing something like this in a small little range. But as of right now, we do seem to have some hope. Again, if I did not address your comment, I'm sorry. I fell a little bit behind on them, and now the market's open, so I'm watching for some potential trades. Well, Ahmed, I'm not sure I could have made that, again, what I'm talking about, Ahmed, this was given to the chat room this morning. Right there. Like, bear flag. Like, if the bear flag's broken, like I said, I'm not quite sure how much more I could have really said for that, Ahmed. There is still a component where you got to think for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what to do every step of the way. My whole point there, Ahmed, was like, hey, here's a bear flag. If you like to trade bear flags, then here you go. Now, how you trade the bear flag, there's many ways you could trade a bear flag. But, that's all on you. What is trading? Trading is buying something and then trying to sell it for more than you bought it for. That's what trading is. And in this situation, the something is futures contracts. Most people still work today. Well, yeah, well, that's what I mean. Is if most people are working, well, then nothing's really changed. So so this would make sense. But yeah, good opening 2 minutes. Nice little range here. We'll see how it continues to play out. How many minutes? I'm on the 2 minute time frame here. I had some frustration with trader last night. Placed an order, chat. I was finally decided to close it out. I was using open. All right, good. Glad you got that figured out. Yeah, small caps are garbage. Mathematically, they make no sense. I'd be happy to show that to Aaron, but I think Aaron might have disappeared. I thought the market is closed for today. Nope. Futures are open. Stock market's closed. Futures are open until 1 p.m. Very low volume. Yeah, volume's not the strongest, but at least we're getting some movement. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to rush into anything, that's for sure. There's still a lot of, yeah, I know, Jay. So the argument is not that you can't make money day trading small caps. The argument is you are going about things inefficiently. You are working harder, not smarter. You're taking on way more risk than you need to. You're using your own personal capital inefficiently. That's the argument. The argument is not that you cannot make money day trading other things. The argument is if you want to operate most efficiently as a day trader, meaning use your capital wisely, risk your capital wisely, get the best potential movement possible, which is what we want as day traders, right? We need movement. We need volatility. Then day trading futures is where it's at. All right, Aaron, well, tell me what a typical position for you looks like. Like, tell me like your best trade. Tell me your position size and how many shares you got at that entry point. But fair warning, I'm going to make that gain look really silly. Just fair warning. So I will rain on your parade because that's how awesome futures are. So let's just take a look at your best trade that you've ever had in small caps. Again, I need how many shares did you have and how much did you pay for those shares, and then what kind of gain was it? All right. I don't know. I don't see a bear flag right now. I mean, there was somewhat of a bear flag right here, but it's already broken down, so... Well, yeah, right now it's just kind of dropping. No news today, I guess, right? I don't know, Ravshan. How about you tell us? You go do your homework and you can learn at the same time. You go check out and see if there's any major news and then let us know. It'll be a good exercise. Again, your friend is the economic calendar. So run a Google search for an economic calendar and let us know. I'm going to try to buy down there at the green line. Try to play maybe a little bit of a double bottom here. Put my stop down there. Try to give a little bit of wiggle room. Risky trade. I'm essentially catching a falling knife into what could potentially be a double bottom, but I'm doing... very small size here. How do I decide what my stop loss is going to be? Based on the chart. The chart is the driving factor for my stop loss decisions. In fact, just with that, let me first see if it can show me some strength. So what I want to see is if it come down here and then give me some sort of bullish candle. And then we'll go. I don't know if I want to try to catch a falling knife at this point, especially with the lower volume, if there's a random spike. I YOLO'd 10K on a Chinese stock. Okay, bought at about $10, sold at 23. Okay. So... So you sold at 23. So how much did you make there? Over 100%. So you made what, like $15,000 or so? Oh, I'm sorry. You already told it. You made cool $13,000. Okay. Well, Aaron, I'm about to blow those results out of the water to just show you how inefficient, how unimpressive that is, especially when you consider that you had $10,000 at risk. But not right now because I might be taking a trade. But yeah, Aaron, that's like I said. I told you I'd rain on your parade. I'm going to rain on your parade. Not impressive. When compared with Pam's plant, day trading futures through a prop firm, those results are just not impressive. At all. Because I'm going to show you how you could have made way more with way less risk. Because you know full well that those types of stocks... I mean, now I'm not going to say you would have lost all 10,000, but boom, thousands of dollars could have been gone just like that. Hey, it's Jerry, our poetic Yoda. Hey, can we get 4 more likes? Let's put this up. Let's get this up over 50 likes real quick. If you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. Okay, all right, here we go. Would like to see it come down. Ooh, see, that's why I didn't want to try to catch the knife. All right, now let's, I don't know, that's kind of a bigger risk profile than I wanted. I guess I could try right there. Let's see if it wants to come back up. I'm going to buy at that green line there. But if this thing drops down more, then I'm going to have to cancel it out. Yep, drop down more. That white line is just the low of the day. All right, cancel that out because my risk man. Okay, this has been great. I mean, I don't know where I would have gotten short because this thing is literally just dropping down. So I'm not sure how I could have gotten short. But yeah, if you got, well, in hindsight trading here, look at this thing. This is why next, somebody tells you charts don't work. Now, a chart's perfect. No, but are they valid? Yeah, look at this purple line. The famous 50-period moving average. Resistance, 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 resistance. And then let's fast forward to right here. Can you imagine somebody just taking that short right there? Resistance. So if you are here right now and you took that purple line short, congratulations. Good grief, you're getting paid. But yeah, I don't know. I have not seen any tradable opportunity. This thing just keeps bleeding slowly. So now if it wants to bounce up and maybe build out some sort of, if it starts to head up and do something like this. So if it consolidates something like that, well then at that point we could start to make an argument, okay, like a bear pennant, bear flag is formed. But right now, missiles have been launched from Iran. Honestly, I don't think that stuff affects it anymore. Like, I think all that is baked in. Like, okay, yeah. As sad as that is, oh, okay, more missiles have been fired. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to show I'm going to, Aaron, are you still here? Because I'm going to show how small caps are just an absolute inefficient joke compared to Pam's plant. But are you still here, Aaron? But this is great. This is good good movement. Trade-wise for me, I have not been presented really anything. Like I said, I was thinking about the double bottom, but then, I've done plenty of stupid things, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm bragging, but I'm glad I chose wise. Like, let me just first see if it wants to be strong. And that would have been a losing trade for sure because it just plunged right through there. Okay, so Aaron's saying that he used $10,000 of his capital, his best trade ever, made $13,000. So we know that Aaron has at least $10,000. So let's just start with the fact that with $10,000, he could have come and he could have done Pam, which by the way, Pam's plant is what we talk about here. Pam's plant is an argument of why you should and why if you want to be a day trader, you day trade futures, step one, because futures are awesome for all these reasons, but you do it through a prop firm, which is what plan is. The reasons why prop firms are awesome. So that's what we're going to now compare to this small cap. Because my claim is small caps are garbage. They're inefficient. And Aaron says, what are you talking about? I make money. I made $13,000. Best trade ever. Okay. Well, let's go quick. Take a look over here. Again, Aaron had $10,000 that he could have put to use. So what he could have done was he could have come and gotten the 150K. Now, because of copy trading, you can have up to 5 accounts. So he could have gotten easily 5 accounts. So 252, because that's what it is per account right there. So he could have come over here. 252 times 5. Okay, so now that would require $1,260 of his capital. Again, his baseline right now is he needed $10,000 to make $13,000. So right now we have $1,260. The other thing here is with the 150K, when it comes to the type of contracts, you could get up to 15 of quite volatile contracts. But let's not do 15. Let's just say he just does 10. So 10 contracts. He doesn't max it out. He'll just do 10. So let's apply that to the movement that we've seen today. So let's just say, I don't know, he catches a trade, right? His big trade was, biggest trade ever. So let's take a more modest trade. Let's not even say that this was some sort of home run trade, but let's say, I don't know, he got short right here at 70 and then got it all the way down there to 50. So 70 right here down to 50. Okay, so in other words, this is the distance that he made. Nothing massive, but you know what? It is what it is, okay? So that's what he made. Now, if we look at the numbers here from 21,770 to 21,750, that's a difference of 20. Okay, 20 what? 20 points. So the question becomes, well, how much is 1 point worth? Well, with NQ, 1 point equals $20. And this is all per contract. So let's come over here. If that was 20 points and he made, or if that was 20-point move and each point is worth $20, we got to multiply that by 20. So that's $400. $400 that he could have made per contract, okay? Per contract, $400. Now, remember I mentioned he could have gotten 15 contracts, but let's just say he only did 10. So we have to multiply that times 10, okay? So right there, 10 contracts would have been $4,000 on that little movement there. But Clay, he said he made 13. Well, we're not done yet. Because remember, we bought 5 accounts. And the nice thing about Pam's plant is nuclear explosion growth, which means copy trading. And with Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts. So in other words, if you make one trade, you can copy that trade to the 4 other accounts. So yes, you only make that one trade one time. But if you copy it, well, technically it's happening 5 times at the same time because you're copy trading. So what we have to do with that 4,000 now, and remember, I'm being very conservative. We took a modest 20-point move. Modest 20-point move with anybody in futures will say, that is a good move, but it's not massive. So we have to take that now because this 4,000 only came from that one account. It came from the one account with the 10 NQ contracts. And again, he could have actually gone up to 15, but we only did 10 because I'm trying to play this more conservative. But if he copied this to 4 other accounts, so in other words, this trade happened 5 times, what do we have to do? Well, we have to multiply this times 5. So $20,000. So how much was required? Again, how much was required for his capital? What was his risk? Because your risk is ultimately just what you spend on the accounts. So his all-in risk for $20,000 was, again, the 150K account, 252. So 252 times 5 accounts, his all-in risk was $1,260. So his only capital needed was $1,260. He got a very modest move and made $7,000 more than his best ever small cap stock. So with all due respect, small caps are garbage. You're taking on more risk for less money. Get that garbage out of here. Garbage. Unbelievable. Do you see, Aaron? What are you doing? Now you know. Now you know why small cap. So I don't know. Well, I make money. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't make money. I'm saying it's very inefficient. And the math just showed it out just right there. And again, look at this thing continue to drop. And all that whole calculation was based on a 20-point move from there to there. Not any sort of massive explosion, nothing like that. So there we go. That's why I say, again, the argument is not that you can't make money day trading small caps. The argument is it's inefficient. You're taking on too much risk. You're using way too much, you're using way more capital than it's actually needed to. Think about that, $10,000 to make $13,000. And I just showed $1,200 to make $20,000 on a very modest move. So that is why small cap, again, I know certain people out there, they make small caps seem awesome, but that's their bread and butter business. They're not going to abandon it because that's what they've kind of built things on. But at this point in time, small caps are irrelevant now when looking at Pam's plant. Futures, specifically the micros with combination of prop firms, all that stuff is irrelevant. Good grief. Like, how are you supposed to trade this? Like, it just keeps going down. There's been, for my strategy at least, no short entries. Amazing, though. But, I mean, I kind of just want to chase now. But I might have to get multiple accounts. Yeah. Especially Marvin, you seem like a responsible trader. Multiple accounts, copy trading. Now with the copy trading, full disclosure, you have to be careful of that, right? Because if you take one trade and then you go and start to behave like a moron, well, those moron decisions are also being copied to your 4 other accounts. So that is a two-sided coin. But my point here is that here we have a guy that literally used $10,000. So he could use way less to get those 5 accounts. And his ultimate risk, let's say worst case, everything just plummeted, out of his pocket is $1,260. But if something goes really bad in a small cap, because that's all of your 10,000 on the line, well, that could easily be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 loss of your own money gone. Like, what am I supposed to do here? This is amazing action, amazing action. But I don't know how to trade this. I mean, I could go short here, but that totally seems like chasing. I could try going long, but that totally seems like catching a falling knife. I mean, these candles are just like, that was a nice hammer. Nope, didn't care. There's another nice little hammer doji. Nope, market didn't care. So I can't really trust hammers. So I don't know how to trade this. But I mean, action-wise, this is great stuff. What stock is this? This is not a stock. We are trading futures. Hey, if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We're actually in record-setting territory. If we can get up to 100 likes in the first basically 45 minutes, that would be a new record. So we're only 26 away. So if you are enjoying this stream, make sure you hit that like button. I was shorting at 7:30. Good for you. Good for you. I didn't see anything there, but apparently you saw something and you were correct. So well done. Hey, King Yipto, my friend, I'll just say this. You might have just showed up, but nobody cares about PCSA. I just walked through some calculations that demonstrated how stocks like that are just not impressive. So you kind of seem like a pumper too. Like, I'm pretty sure you are a pumper. But like, just so you know, King Ito, we eat traders like you alive around here. We're not a bunch of sheep. We're not going to fall for your pump of PCSA, a total garbage penny stock, okay? So don't give us this. It's about to be the runner. No. We ain't morons here. I ban morons out of the way. The people that are here right now, we see right through that, King Yito. So PCSA, you know deep down it's a piece of garbage. We all know that you've loaded up already, and now you're looking to generate buyers so that you can dump your shares on them. Because garbage stocks like that, you've got to generate more buyers. It's a game of musical chairs. But we are smart people here, King Ito. We're not going to allow you to pump to us because you're calling something the runner so that you can then dump your shares on us. Okay, brother? You barked up the wrong tree here. You barked up the wrong tree. PCSA, garbage, and I don't even have to look at it. Dude, I got started on the message boards back in 06. I can smell a pumper rat from a mile away. That has pumping garbage written all of it. Could be the runner in all caps. Away. Get your garbage out of here. You must think there's a bunch of sheep in this chat. There's not. We're only wolves here. We hunt for ourselves. We think for ourselves. Is it already pumped? He's probably gone. He's probably going to all live chats and just copy pasting that message because he's trying to generate excitement so people buy so that he can dump his shares on them. That's another good reason for futures. Like, why have to put yourself through that where you literally have to worry about how am I going to be able to sell? Right? Penny stocks, you can always buy a penny stock. The problem becomes, am I going to be able to sell it? Like, I got to find buyers because a lot of those things they're not very liquid. All right, maybe a long here. Maybe it's going to finally care about this. I'm interested in a long. I have a well-defined stop. I'd like to see it come down a little bit more and then start to head back up. I thought all pumpers. No. There's still pumpers in the world of small caps and penny stocks. Yeah, that's another point. Not having to worry about dilution and stock offerings and reverse splits. I mean, there's so much just unnecessary drama and all that stuff. I suppose I could get short here, stop right here and see if this is going to continue, roll back over. But this is amazing action right now. Totally not what I was really expecting for a session where the market's going to close early at 1 p.m. But great stuff here. Stocks are great to buy for investment. Exactly, Raider for Life. That's why Pam's Plant, that's why this is an argument in the category of day trading. Day trading. You know You know that by now, Raider. You ain't new here. You know that the argument is for the category of day trading, because you're right. In the category of investing, oh, I own lots of stocks for investments. But day trade stocks, no way. Stock market close today. Good for a futures market trader. I don't know. I don't know about that. What was the last time there was an early closure? What was that? Labor Day or President's? I can't remember. But one, it was the futures market was just not really impressive. But this is great stuff here. Yeah, exactly, Stusher. Great action. Yeah. When we consider that the New York Stock Exchange, the stock market is closed today. Long 722. Okay. Wow, you're waiting for it to come up quite a bit. All right, what I'll do here is if this wants to come up and then come back down, I'll look to get short here with a stop up there. But it's first got to show a little bit of upside strength. Nope, need more than that. Come on, pop up some more. Come on, a little bit more. Little bit more, come up green. That's good enough. Okay, so if it wants to come back down to that red line, that'll be my short. My stop will be right over here. Just going small size today. And that is exactly why. Wow, what a terrible fill. Went down there, filled me, and then right back up it went. Well, let's see if it wants to continue with the trend or if this is actually going to be some sort of true recovery back up. Good morning, Manuel. Trying to go with the trend here. But if we're about to get some sort of bigger bounce, well, then this will be a losing trade. And looks like, all right, out there. What is your favorite long-term? My favorite is not a stock. It's actually an ETF. GCOW. That's my favorite ETF. GCOW. To me, the premise of what they're trying to do just makes very good sense. So that's why I like that one. It just makes sense. Whoops. Got to cancel that out. See how easy it is to forget about an order? All right, I'm still bearish biased. So if this thing V-shapes, it's going to be a rough day for me. But I still think this is just a dead cat bounce. I'm just so pleasantly surprised by this movement. Unfortunately, like I said, hard to get for me any trades, and then yeah, is this going to be some sort of bigger bounce now? I guess we'll see. Marvin likes VTI. It's the worst when you're short becomes support. Yeah, never the most ideal situation. Custom hotkeys would be amazing. Hey, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. Let's try to push this up over 100 likes. That would be great. We are close at 90. Again, if you have not yet hit that like button and you're enjoying, please hit that like. So maybe it's going to start to stall out here. And I'm keeping it very small just because I'm still sketched out on days like this where the market's closed and it seems like it could be extra spiky. Raphael, good morning. Yeah, I do birthday parties. 93. Ah, bummer. So I was just gonna put an order and make it short right there. Oh, maybe that will be 1 p.m. close Eastern. Walmart's are tonight. Walmart's always Thursday. Thursdays after this class. That's a nice little. So I am offering this free class tonight. A nice little segue into it. So if you are interested, I'm offering a free webinar tonight. But yes, Jody, I always take one of the kids after this because we go to Walmart. They get to stay up a little bit later, so they think that's kind of cool. And then Walmart's, not a whole lot of people there. But yes, free webinar tonight. If you want to get signed up for it, link is in the chat. Oh, come on, you dirty dogs. You're going to really stop at 99 likes? Come on. What a bunch of jokesters in the chat. You guys just all conspired against me. Let's take it up to 99 and then just stop. Man, a few days ago, my 401k had a visual glitch showing I was down 88%. That'd be kind of sketchy. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. Sovereignty, hey. Evil Shaddix, thank you. The letter D, good morning. All right, I'm short there. Let's see if this thing does want to come down some more now. Oh, 10 o'clock. Whoops. I probably should not have gotten it right before 10 o'clock. Whether or not there's news, yeah, this tends to happen at 10 o'clock. Even if there's news, it can kind of go. It could have gone in my favor, but I totally lost track of the time. Uh-oh. Stop it. Well, I'm glad I only did one. One MNQ. Yeah, I really don't like to be in at 10 o'clock. Even if there's no news, 10 o'clock can usually cause things to get a little bit jiggy, which is what we're seeing right here. Yeah, Sergio is my running mate. I'm going to actually add in another one at that red line. See if I can get some confirmation. So look to add to a winner here. So my entry is the blue line. Stop is green. I'm looking to add another one at the red line. Then I'll look to take off a profit target right there. Okay, I added to the position. There we go. There we go. So back to being green now. Well, I see how easy it is to forget your orders. I still have a stop, which means that would turn into a going long. So that's why I said earlier, you got to learn to love this gray button. Click it. There we go. Unbelievable how easy it is to just forget about an order. Yeah, gray button. Gray button's got to be your friend on Tradeovate. Well, I guess I should have added in more than just one on that, but it is what it is. Up 580 on 4 accounts with that move. Nice job, Mark. So right there. So Mark made 580 on one trade, but he copied it to 3 other accounts. So he's got to multiply that, again, in the chat box right there. He's got to multiply that 580 by 4. Tradeovate is glitching for me again, like you saw the other day. The blue line showing a position is remaining and flickering. Be careful. All right, thank you for the heads up. Hey, good morning, yes, sir. Chris, good morning. What time frame do you think is best for futures? It doesn't matter what I think. I will say this. I believe the 5-minute belongs somewhere within your analysis. You should use multiple time frames, but I think the 5-minute should be there because I think most people use the 5-minute. Therefore, you could potentially get some of those self-fulfilling prophecies because if you know that everybody's kind of looking at the 5-minute, then again, that doesn't guarantee anything per se, but it does become a little bit more credible to think of potential self-fulfilling prophecies. So the 5-minute, I'm not calling the holy grail, but in my opinion, it's one that should be part of your overall multiple time frame analysis. Because one thing I will say, you should be using multiple time frame analysis. meaning you're not just staring at the 1 minute and that you look at nothing else, or you're not just staring at the 5 minute and you're looking at nothing else. No, you want to be using multiple time frames. Are you still in? If I was in, these numbers here would be fluctuating. I got out a long time ago. Again, if you're not familiar with my screen, when I'm in a trade, one of these two numbers are going to be moving around. This number right here, it's all the same account, but this number here is for NQ. That number here is for MNQ. And yes, that's something else I guess you could point out. Also, the position POS right there, position, you can also see 0. So that's another way you could tell. I was thinking about joining you in shorts. Son, why do I get the idea that you're just looking to puppet trade? Why? Why do I get that suspicion that you're just looking to not think for yourself, you're just trying to copy trade what I'm doing? Why am I getting that little spidey sense? Why? Am I wrong? Or, I mean, is my senses off? But I'm starting to get the vibe. Okay, good. Good. Well, that's not totally true, Mark. Because I know you're also thinking for yourself. There's a difference between seeing somebody's idea, thinking through it, and in your mind being like, I totally see what that person's saying, and I agree, therefore I'm going to join them. Besides, that's what they're doing, I'm doing it. With no other thought. Like, you don't think, does it make sense? You don't think, do you understand why? Nothing. All right, we're at the trend line. Do you short the trend line here, brothers? Or do you go long the trend line? I'm too scared to go long it. Where'd that stop be? Right up there. Yes, I'm talking to myself right now. I'll take that trade. Very small, very small. This is kind of a scary trade because I'm not sure if this thing's about to blast through that trend line or not. But I could see it getting rejected. Uh-oh. And out. Well, I'm glad I only did one. Have you ever tried your strategies with gold? No, Brian, I find zero need to try gold or oil. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why would you trade less liquid markets? The NQ, the ES, those are the smoothest markets. I want to trade as efficiently as possible. Efficiently being but defined as, let's just trade very volatile, very liquid, very smooth markets. So, no, I have zero interest in that because why? Why work harder, not smarter? Is there any slippage in these accounts? No, very little. Now, if something crazy happens, there can be slippage. But, like, I mean, up here you can see the spreads. The spreads are as tight as you can be. So can there be slippage? There can, but it's not like some, crazy small cap with massive spreads or anything like that. Almost break even. Yeah, that is true too, Marvin. Looking for $1,000 profit. All right. I don't remember you calling out a trade, Daryl, but maybe you did. I might have missed it. Sell limit. Okay, so his entry is 752. Oh goodness, you're waiting. Okay, that's the entry point far, far away. Oh wait. No, you're going long there. Sell limit 21,752. Okay, you're looking to sell there. Stop loss 21,170. What? I can't think. That doesn't make sense. 21,171. You got a typo in there somewhere, Simon? It's really glitching. Just had to make a video in case the same. Oh, 21,771. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. 21,7. Okay. Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm trying to watch, trying to read. All right. Cool. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving all those numbers ahead of time. And we'll see if it works out for you. All right. Here's a 21 EMA. Could there be a potential short here? Gonna get short at that red line. In. See if it wants to roll back over here. Come on. Take that little scalp. Again, I'm just going super small today because I don't... Given it is a holiday, given the market's changed. And again, I am in futures as of November. So I still consider myself a new futures trader. So I'm still trying to figure out how do days like this actually behave. Days like this being holidays, stuff like that. So I am just... Like I said, trying to play things as cautiously and respectfully as possible. Might get short again. I mean, you have a very well-defined stop right above the 21 EMA. So if the price wants to come up here and come back down, I'll try again right here. It's got to hit the green line first, though. And then I want to see it come back down. There we go. Close enough. Short at the red line. Stop will be right above the 21 EMA. Now if it pushes up through there, I'm no longer going to be interested. Yep, my risk profile is getting too big now, so never mind. Risk profile will now be too big on the trade. Looks bouncy. Are you long then, Richard? But let's just do 3 at this point. I'm not going to do 5 anymore. Go with 3 instead. I blew up your account. Well, blew my account. Gotcha. Well, sorry to hear that. It happens. All right, I'm a little paranoid because SM, who is a trusted poster in the chat, is saying TradeOvid has issues, and I don't know. Is it me or did this thing just really kind of slow down out of nowhere? Like, I'm just wondering, is this real action right now, or... Yeah, even looking up there, those numbers seem to... Okay, there we go. That's a little quicker. All right, well, I would never been filled anyways, so never mind. No issues for me so far. Okay. It is slow also for me in TS. Yeah, that's what's got me confused. Is it because it's kind of at an area of resistance, or is it because there's some sort of issue? Oh, thanks, Kane. Yeah, Brendan, the volume did kind of... Ooh. 6. Okay, I'm going to try a short there at the red line. Okay, I'm in. That is my first profit target. Very small size. Again, like I said, I am goofing around is not the right word, because I'm not goofing around. I'm trying to take good trades, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not even anywhere close to thinking NQ or anything like that. I don't know what the word would be. Goofing around is not a good word, because I'm not goofing around. I'm not trying to just throw darts. I'm not trying to do things randomly. But I'm just, like I said, oh, this is a beautiful candle. I love this setup. I'll take this setup all day long. Even if this doesn't work out, don't care. Love this setup right here from the short side. Love it. Again, even if it doesn't work out, I know that I have an edge right now. Now, just because you have an edge in something doesn't mean that it's going to be a profitable trade. But this is a great looking situation right here. But again, the market offers no guarantee, so this could be a losing trade still. All I'm saying is if I see the same general setup again, I will take it again. But again, I want to reiterate, there's no such thing as a holy grail system. There's no such thing as a holy grail setup. But I like this setup a whole lot, and I will still like it even if it doesn't work out. Okay, Jay Hundo. Jay Hundo, do you see what you're doing? You're kind of doing just like a lot of hindsight commentary. Like you're describing what's already happened, okay? Like, do you have a trade plan for us, Jay Hundo? Like, can you give us an entry point, a stop loss, and a target before the price gets to any of those levels? Again, I appreciate the commentary, but I mean, right now you're kind of just commentating what's already happened. It's a back-tested strategy. Okay, all I'm asking, Jay, all I'm asking is, can you give us like, so what is your trade plan right now? Again, what's your entry point, what's your target, and what's your stop loss? Do I use the 9 MA? Well, what MA are you talking about? There are many MAs out there. No power here. Can somebody please make a trade for me? I got you, Dan. Nah, I got you. I'll find something. I'll YOLO a bunch of NQs for you. And I was hopeful for a second, but now I'm basically, this thing's toast. That recovery back up has me at about 2% confidence that I might survive, yeah, and I'm out. Michael, that's a little outside of the scope of all this because there's several moving components there. Is this thing now going to come down? Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, well, the action that was spoiling us right here seems to be slowing down a little bit. But we do have... We wicked down into a major demand zone in 2 minutes, then we made a lower high. What? Oh, here we go. So are you in, Justin? Where are you telling me all this before it was a losing trade, Justin? But hey, man, yeah, I got that one wrong. It happens. So how much money are you up on the trade right now, Justin? I'm in longs. From 701.25. Okay. Gotcha. And where's your stop loss at? Yeah, Labrador. We got somebody that waits for everything to happen, waits for it to be a losing trade, and then uses hindsight analysis to tell us exactly, well, I would use so because of that, and that. It's like, well, yeah, it's easy to say all that sort of stuff. Okay, well, next time, Justin, tell us all this before you get into the trade. Because with all due respect, I mean, that's kind of hard to believe. Like, because you're totally hindsight armchair quarterbacking. Richard, thinking of shorting 59.86. No, all I'm saying, Justin, is if you want credibility here, just give us those three numbers ahead of time. That's all. Well, that's how it goes sometimes, everybody. Think about where did I get stopped out at? Like right there, and now it's rolling over. It happens. It happens. If you've ever been there before, where your general idea is correct, that's why broad statements don't matter in trading, right? So if the pointer I always like to give to newer traders is if you're sitting there and saying, okay, I think this thing's going to come up and then want to roll back over, again, that's a general statement. Because then what could you be saying right now? You'd be saying, man, I was right. That would have been a winning trade. But the problem with broad statements is, well, when you start to define things, you hold yourself accountable. And my thing, I defined the trade. How did I define it? Well, part of a trade plan is you got to put a stop loss. So yes, I was right. It did want to roll over. It did roll over. But notice I lost money on it. Why? Well, because unfortunately for me, it stopped me out slightly before it rolled over. But again, if you're not defining things when you're just looking at something, then you open yourself up for being able to tell yourself, oh, this would have been a winning trade for me. So as anytime you're trading, do not make broad statements. If you want to get an actual black and white picture of would it have actually been a winning trade, you got to define numbers. So, and this is, a perfect example of that. Because yes, I was right. It did want to roll. That would have been, where was it at? I got short. I don't know. Somewhere right around here. Over a nice little 10-point move to the downside. And this may still come down. But, so I think about it. I was right. From a broad statement standpoint, I was right. But I lost money on the trade. So, that's why you are doing yourself a disservice if you're just sitting there as a trader and saying, oh, I think it's going to do this, I think it's going to do that, and then if it does that, you're like, oh, see, I was right, I would have made money. And that's not how it works. You got to define things. I mean, Justin, could you make it any more obvious that you live in your mom's basement? I mean, you literally just called me a dweeb. Could you make it any more obvious? Dweeb? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. That's got to be an auto ban. Like if you're gonna call somebody a dweeb, I like I said, I think that's the cue right there. That like you're just done. You show up, you hindsight armchair quarterback, and then you call me a dweeb. It's like, okay. basement talk. Can I steal that, DiCaprio? for future use? If somebody says something, can I say, oh man, come on, that's basement talk? I think nerd is a timeless term. What are people's thoughts on that? Is nerd timeless? Like, I remember growing up with the term nerd, but I think today, if you were to call somebody a nerd, that's still applicable, isn't it? Is nerd timeless? That's the question. I think it is. Dweeb? No more. No, I stopped day trading options a long time ago, Simon. Day trading options makes zero mathematical sense. Like, it's, from a day trading standpoint, it's very inefficient. It is not the smart way to go about it. That's true. Yeah, his Lambo might just be in his mom's basement. But in all seriousness, I've been around since I started the community back in 2013. I've been around longer, but I started claytrader.com in 2013. So I have been around many very successful traders. Some have gone through my mentorship, some have not. And the one common denominator of these successful traders, I have never seen one ever call another trader a name, basically accuse them of being a moron, just because I had a trade plan that didn't work out. Now, there's a difference between seeing somebody with a trade plan that doesn't work out versus somebody that just shows up and you can tell they're just being a totally degenerate gambler. That person needs to have, some reality smacked into them. But tell me you're not a successful trader. Tell me you're an unprofitable trader. Without telling me, when you start calling people names or just saying that they're stupid because they had a defined out trade plan and it just didn't happen to work out, tell me you don't understand trading without telling me, That's, one of those things. So to be fair, I realize this is anecdotal evidence. I don't have like a data-driven study. But in my experience, all the successful traders I know, like Mark in the chat, very good job. I mean, he's crushing it with prop firms, all that good stuff. I don't see Mark like going to somebody that maps out a trade plan, it doesn't work out, and then he's just like, hey, dweeb, why would you do that, you moron? Didn't you see this, this, and this? It's like, because he understands, like, it's easy to hindsight armchair quarterback somebody, Because what we know for sure is, had that been a winning trade, do we think that person would have showed up and started running their mouth? Absolutely not. Had that rolled over, that person 110% for sure would not be here saying, well, why would you go short there? Didn't you see this, this, or that? Of course they wouldn't be here saying that. But again, the unprofitable trader, the bitter person, is going to wait to see if something's wrong, and then they're going to come at the person, right? So, no, thank you, wannabe trader. I'm not necessarily bothered, but I'm trying to turn it into an educational lesson. Like, that's just one of the things I've learned, is truly successful traders are not behaving like that. A dweeb, yeah, a dweeb, it's like a nerd. I don't know why people waste their time. I don't know why people waste their time trolling at all. How many rings do you have, John, as an armchair quarterback? Yeah, at this point, is this just going to turn into a slow grind back up into kind of where we were previously? This is what I'm kind of wondering. So before all the kind of bloodshed started, we were, I don't know, let's call it 21,770. I don't know, do we start kind of a slow grind up in that area now? Maybe. Like I said, I still am bearish bias because the overall trend here, if anything, we're looking at an overall bear flag. So I'm still bearish bias, but as I mentioned earlier, my bearish bias could lead to a red day. It's at a red day now because, again, I was right on that one. Problem is, I was wrong on my stop and barely got stopped out. Then it rolled over, which would have given me a nice little Not a grand slam trade, but at least still a winning trade. Our markets close. Yes, the futures market closes at 1 p.m. Eastern today. 1 p.m. Eastern market closes today. As a reminder, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. See if we can make a run up to 150 likes. That would be good. Slow day today. I disagree about the slow day. I mean, this was like, that was a lot of movement right there for a holiday. I mean, what was it? That was over a 100-point move to start things off, and even right here, decent action. So yeah, I'm not. I will respectfully disagree that this has been a slow day. Glad I started earlier today. The gap down, slow grind gets me up today. Yeah. Right now, that's what I'm wondering. Do the shorts like myself that are still bearish bias, are we just going to get grinded into pieces as this thing slowly works its way back upwards? We are in a range. Yeah, I call this, we're inside a bear flag. That's kind of what I'm calling this. Or bear pennant, whatever you want to call it. So. Ooh. All right. Coming up to the top. What a good trade aid to wait for the bottom purple line and go short. I'm not sure what you mean by that. What a good trade aid. I'm shorting right now 59,860. Oh, you're over on the ES. Where's your stop at, Richard? Being an inside trader. What caused the dump? I mean, I realize it's not what you're asking, but to explain what caused this dump is just basic supply and demand. There was more demand, or excuse me, there was more supply than demand. That is how this moved things down. There are more people wanting to sell than are willing to buy. Supply more than demand. And then can you tell where demand overwhelms supply? If you were to say, well, Clay, in those terms, it looks like demand all of a sudden kind of punched supply in the face right there. Because since then, demand has slowly been overcoming supply. So that's why. Now, what you're actually asking is, well, why? Right here, he's asking, well, why did supply overwhelm demand? And I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Is the market open today? Yes, the futures market is open until 1 p.m. Eastern. The stock market is closed today. But we talk about this quite a bit here. I'm well aware that, like, to try to sound smart and sound cool, if you just talk about things in supply and demand, like, you're not going to sound very cool. But if you talk about things with, like, liquidity sweeps and stop loss hunters and algos and FVGs, like, oh man, this dude is smart. It's like, okay, yo. But in all fairness, we trade the spicy orangutan around here. So we talk about the spicy orangutan. We talk about the bipolar polar bear. We like the Mexican mouse around here. If there is no supply or demand, sideways all day, every day. Now, if there is no supply or demand, there would be zero movement at all. There would be zero liquidity. There would be zero volume. So even in a sideways movement, there is supply and demand. Supply and demand just basically is essentially even. All right. We got the breakdown through here, through that trend line. Are we going to get continuation? Okay, in. Let's see if we can get continuation. Breakdown or get out for me. Stop is up there. It's a very basic premise. We're broken through the trend line. Are we going to get more continuation? If not, then it'll be another losing trade for me. But ain't nothing fancy here. We are down through the trend line. Let's see if we can start to get some continuation now. That green line there is my first profit target. Clay, come on. I am rooting for you to start making some money. Show me how it is done. Get to the... I'm trying. You can't make green every day, Sly Lou. That's not how trading works. Your focus is on the wrong thing. Your focus is on making green. Your focus should be on managing risk. But that's boring to talk about. I want to talk about making money. Yeah, I know. I know. And people wonder why trading's hard. Because people, the fun stuff is not the stuff you should be focused on. Oh, come on. Don't get that close and then start to bounce. Come on. Hit me. There we go. So let's make sure this is a winning trade. Let's move my stop into green territory now. So now this will be a winning trade. It's just a question of how big of a winning trade because I don't know how far down this thing's going to go. I'll put my next profit target right there. Like I said, even if it bounces back up, it'll still be a green trade. But I'm in the sweet spot of trading now. My only worry right now is not if I make money, but how much money am I going to make? And that's a great spot to be in as a trader. Clay, is the statement 85% of traders get slaughtered true or false? That is false. It's more like at least 90%. Do you use the 50 EMA? I do not. I use the 50 SMA, though. Again, this green line here represents my next. I'm going to move down my stop now a little bit more. Let's see if we can get one more little push to the downside to take out that one right there. Come on, push a little bit more. Come on down, brother. Uh-oh. No. Come back down. Don't stop me out. All right. Stopped out. So that was the spicy orangutan. Like I said, get those liquidity sweeps out of here. Get those FVG things out of here. We trade the true holy grail setup, the spicy orangutan. What happens if the power goes out? Then I'm going to be living under a bridge, brother. No, if the power goes out, I'll either make a lot of money on the trade or I'll get my account roasted. But that's okay because I'm in a prop firm account. That's the power of prop firms. Now this nerd is making money in his parents' pool house. Well, you know, the tough guy, his stop, I don't know what he's doing. His stop, he said, was low of the days. So he got in, I don't know, up here, and he was risking, like, I don't know, how many points? Like, he was literally risking, like, 50 points on the trade. So, yeah, our dweeb guy, his position's not looking so good. Now, had that been a losing trade, this is what he would have done. That trade that I took. Clay, why would you take a trade that just put in a third high or low? Why would you do that? It just put in a third high or low. Why would you not think that it was going to put in another high or low and bounce? Like, that's what his critique would have been. It would have been part of it. Right? It's easy to wait to see, had it bounce and come back up and taken me out, and then say, Clay, what are you doing, you idiot? Did you not see all these higher lows in place? Why would you get short right there? You know? Is this Thinkorswim platform? No, it's not. I am day trading through a prop firm. The prop firm being the prop firm being Take Profit Trader, and then through there I am using Tradeovate. Richard, just chilling, making money so I can buy my next Pokemon card. I hear the Pokemon thing is like legit. Like you can make some good quality money. All right, or is this going to be a back test? Let's extend this out some. All right, we were right at the tread line. Well, I was, in my magical, mystical world, of course, I was hoping for some sort of bleed like this. That's why I was trying to give it plenty of wiggle room. But nope. Back up it goes. Yeah. Yeah, come on in. What's up? Pretty new, but I understand what's going on. Good, good, yeah. If you are new and you want to be a day trader, futures is the way to go. Because by definition, let me tell you what my definition of a day trader is. A day trader is being able to buy and sell something in the same day as often as you want every single day. That is known as a day trade. Again, a day trade being defined as you can buy and sell in the same day. So if you are allowed to do that in an unlimited way, per my definition, you are therefore a day trader. So the problem is you cannot fit that definition in the world of stocks or options unless you have $25,000. Because if you don't have $25,000, then you fall under what's called the pattern day trading rule. But that is the nice thing in futures is that there is no pattern day trading rule. So you don't need $25,000 to become a day trader as I just defined it. If you go with the prop firm route, you can get yourself $25K in purchasing power for a whopping $105. So $105 literally allows you to become a day trader, buy and sell as much as you want every single day. And that is the power of Pam's plan. So yes, if you are new and you want to be a day trader as I defined it, because pattern day trading rule, if you have less than 25,000, you are allowed 3 day trades every 5 days. Ridiculous. Like that, definitionally speaking, you can't be a day trader with that requirement. Again, 3 day trades every 5 days. And to reiterate, a day trade is buy and sell in the same day. You're only allowed to buy and sell something in the same day 3 times every 5 days. Good old government regulations. What is going on with the pattern day trading rule? But that's what exists in the world of stocks and options, but also why we preach. I am trying to educate and tell people here about Pam's plan. Why? Because the first thing about Pam's plan is an argument for why you should day trade futures through a prop firm. But the number one reason right here, pattern day trading rule, yeah, there is none. There is none. So if you are watching, if you are here right now and you're annoyed by the pattern day trading rule in any way, shape, or form, just know that there's a more efficient way to go about it, known as futures trading. But make sure you do futures trading through a prop firm. Why should you do it through a prop firm? Because of this right here. Futures, I'm telling you, they move. Why trade small caps, low floats, short squeezes? Those move. No, they don't. And we already did the math to somebody earlier on today, showing how, no, they actually don't move that group. But futures, they move. So that's why you want to do it in a prop firm so that you can gain access to this component, the added risk control, specifically how you protect your own money, because very little of your money is actually required to put into the trade. So the argument, the strategy is not Pam's. No, because Pam's is just futures. It's Pam's plant. Make sure you do day trading futures through the prop firm. So if you want to use the prop firm that I'm using and that I recommend, that's the link you see at the top of the screen. It's also pinned in the chat box. And if you want to get the current discounts, which is 30% off and then 0 activation fee, and you want to support the stream, want to support the channel, use code CLAY. Mom sellers go back down. Geez, I was so happy earlier, but it's coming. Yeah, hard to track yours, Richard, since you're trading ES, but I appreciate you kind of mapping things out and holding yourself accountable. I thought the market... Well, that's where you have to specify the market. We are in the futures market, the beautiful futures market, which is still open. Now, granted, it does close at 1 p.m., which is an early close, but it is still open and giving us great action. Are you on the hook for margins run? No, Tim, that's another great thing about the prop firm is... So let's just say you do the 50K because this seems to be the most popular one, 50K purchasing power. The way it works is this, it'll cost you 119. Now, if you lose 2,000, then you don't lose 2,000 of your money, but the consequences, they will take the account away from you because you failed, you broke the rule. But the amount of money out of your pocket, again, is not 2,000, it would only be $119. Now, you can try again with Take Profit Trader, that's known as a reset. You can reset the account, or you could just call it, the try again, get an account back account or fee, and that would actually only be 100. So that's what makes it nice. Is across the board it's 100. To retry again. So with 150K, yeah, 252 to get 150K in purchasing power. But if you were to lose more than the 4,500, you violated the rule. They take the account away from you. But to get the account back, it's no longer $252. It would only be 100. So that's why I kind of think the 150K makes the most sense, because if you just go in it with a premise that you're going to blow up accounts, because that's just part of prop firm trading, which is totally fine, because when you blow up an account with prop firms, like if you blow up your account with your own money, that could be like $5,000 of your money gone, $10,000 of your money gone. I blew up the account. But in the prop firm world, yeah, sure, you lost 4,500, but out of your pocket, only 252. But then after that, it's only $100. So that's what I'm describing there is just this component right here, the added risk control, and how you can protect your own money, because very little of your money is ever actually in harm's way. Ooh, look at that. The beautiful back test. Power of trend lines. Came up here, back tested the former breakdown point, and rolled back over. I got distracted, though. So there is no activation fee at all. Correct. Normally there is tech. So the activation fee that you have to be aware of with prop firms is, so for example, on this one, after you pass the test, and then you move into the pro account, usually to make this jump, there is an activation fee. And most prop firms do it. That's a lot of them. That's where they get their money, because they'll offer massive discounts. But then if you pass, then they're going to make their money on the activation fee. And same with Take Profit Trader. Usually this activation fee is $130 to make that jump. But right now, if you use code CLAY, not only do you get 30% off of the accounts, but this is $0. So it really is a good deal right now with code CLAY. 30% off and then $0 activation fee. So truly, you're all in risk. And I say that because that's the only money that you have in harm's way. You're all in risk. Could just be 105 or 119 or, all these prices right here. And I don't know if Mark is still here, but Mark, last he checked on us, he does all this. He had, he spent $1,500 on prop firm accounts. So that was his risk. That was his investment, $1,500. And then he was at, I don't know, I can't remember, was it like 25,000 in payouts or something? Mark, I don't know, are you still here? But the point being is it's crazy. $1,500 at risk, and he's up at $25,000 so far that has been paid to him in prop firm lingo. That is known as a payout, and growing. And I just bring up Mark because he's a member, he's a student of my mentorship, so he's posted all the images in the in our private chat room, so I know that it's legit. Will you ever go back to regular? No, Adrian. Day trading stocks makes no sense, Adrian. Why are you still day trading stocks, Adrian? Let me ask you that. Why? Why do you day trade stocks? Makes zero sense, mathematically speaking. You are working inefficiently. Another salesperson trader. Josh, so what I'm selling here is Pam's plant, Josh. What would you say makes this a bad idea? So this is my product that I'm selling, Pam's plant. Could you tell me what is bad about this product, Josh? I'd love to hear your input. What exactly is bad about the product I'm selling? Josh Price. Agreed, I'm a salesman. This is what I'm selling. Could you tell me how what I'm selling, Pam's plant, as a day trading efficiency strategy is a bad product? Where am I wrong here, Josh? I own it. I am a salesperson, and I'm selling what I proclaim to be a good idea, an efficient idea. So could you tell me how this is a bad product that I'm selling? I've yet to have anybody tell me how this is a bad idea. People attack me, like Josh. Well, you're just a salesman. Okay, I'm a salesman. Can you tell me how this is a bad idea? Or is it your contention, Josh, that a salesman is selling a good idea? Is it your contention that a salesman, me, is selling a good product, a good idea? Is that your contention? Now, you have a case if you can be like, dude, this salesman is selling a bad product. Fine, tell me how this is bad, Josh. Clay, do I pay for the reset or do I just buy? Well, no, just do the reset. Just reset it because that's $100. They must take most of the profits if you hit trades. Incorrect. Incorrect. Right here. Again, per your own words, they must take most. So most would be bare minimum 51%. Like that would be the definition of most. At least 51%. In the pro account, uh-oh. There we go. In the pro account, they take 20%. In the pro plus, they take 10%. So yeah, I don't really consider that most. Where's Josh at? Josh, I'm still waiting for you to tell me how my product I'm selling is bad or a bad idea. Oh no, do we have another ad hominem? Yeah, like I said, everybody that's gone and tried is like, man, a lot of people think it's a scam because they're like, what's the catch? This makes like too much sense. Does this account have its own trading platform? So the way it works is this. Who asked that? Howard. Is step one of what you would do if you want to do Pam's plant, assuming you want to use the prop firm that I'm using. So take Profit Trader. That's who I use. That's who I recommend. I think they're the best in the business. Step one, you select the purchasing power you want. Again, use code CLAY so you get the 30% off and support the channel. And then after that, they're going to ask you, well, what platform do you want to use? And they offer a variety. The one that you see here and that I'm using is Tradeovate. Now, the cool thing here is that you do not need to go to Tradeovate separately and create an account. You get to skip that time-consuming step. The prop firm itself will go create the account for you, and then they'll send you the login information, and then you just go to Tradeovate and you log in with the information that they sent you. So you get to, that's actually a really nice step because I can't stand signing up for new brokers and platforms and all that sort of stuff. Good job, Jake. Where did Josh go? Josh's critique of Pam's plan is you're a salesman. Notice how he didn't actually attack the idea. He just said that I'm a salesman. Okay? So I'm a salesman selling a good idea. Does that rub you the wrong way, Josh? Are you offended that a salesman is selling a good idea? Okay, we got to do Philosophy 101 real quick. Okay, here's Philosophy 101. What Josh deployed is known as the ad hominem fallacy, a type of logical fallacy where someone attacks the person making an argument instead of addressing the argument itself. It is a diversionary tactic that seeks to discredit a viewpoint by attacking the character, motives, or other irrelevant attributes of the person presenting it. Again, like I said, I can sit here and say, just to illustrate that, let's just say I'm a scammer. I'm a con man. I don't know what I'm doing trading. I never made any money trading. Okay, well, unless you attack the idea, your position would have to be a scammer is presenting a good idea. Somebody that doesn't know how to trade is presenting a good idea. Somebody that kicks puppy dogs is presenting a good idea. Somebody that steals candy from babies is presenting a good idea. You got to attack the idea if you want to discredit the idea. But like I said, ad hominem is all I've gotten so far when it comes to Pam's plant. Well, yeah, Clay, it's a good idea, but you're a con man. Well, it's a good idea, Clay, but you're a scammer. Well, yeah, it's a good idea, Clay, but you don't even know how to trade. Okay, but it's a good idea? Okay, aren't people here for the good idea then? Do I stream every day? Yes, I do. Normally not this early. Usually I'm at 11 a.m., but because the market, we're in interesting situation right now where the market closes at 1 p.m., I got on early today. But I will say we do seem to be slowing down here a little bit. Still, I think there's tradable action here, but we'll see. We'll see. What happens when your month hits and the account renews? Do you lose your... No, that's why I say aim to pass the test within a month. That way, you only have to make that payment the one time. Because the payment is only existing during the test phase. But after you pass the test, there's no more monthly payments. Does it work on mobile? Yes. Yes, this platform here does work on mobile. So you could totally do Pam's plant with a mobile. Better late than never. Agreed. Do we keep all our profits and just pay the monthly fee? Do we lose the 2K? We have to pay the... No. If you lose this... So on the 50K, if you lose 2,000, your consequence is they take the account away from you. So if you paid 119 for the account, but then they take the account, well, your loss is 119. It's not 2,000. Now, for you business savvy people out there, you may be saying, wait a second, this seems like a scam. How in the world can this be a profitable business if they only require $119, yet they're going to let you lose $2,000 of their own money? Good eye, good observation. That is because this is all happening in a simulator. So they're not actually they're not losing $2,000. It's a test, right? They're seeing if you can trade. So they're being very wise by having this all in an operation of a simulator. The flip side is also true. I have seen some people all upset. Wait a second, Clay. So I pay $119 and then I make them $3,000 and then all I get is my pro account. That's all I get is my pro account. Well, I understand your frustration, but again, this is all happening in a simulator, so it's not like $3,000 was actually made. So that is just, like I said, for you business eye people that are like, wait a second, how can this be a profitable long-term plan? That is how. Hermit Money. Hermit Money. Let me ask you this. What do you trade right now? I think you have a false lens. You're operating under a false premise because Hermit Money is like, okay, I'm sold on Pam's plan. I want to do Pam's plan. Now all I have to do is learn how to trade futures. I'm pretty sure that's a false premise. I'll illustrate how. What do you trade right now? So same for anybody else. If anybody else is really liking Pam's plan, but now you're like, that sounds great, but I don't have time to learn futures, or where do I learn futures? I'm overwhelmed. Stick with me here. Yes, you can take profits on day one. So you could be eligible for payments on day number 6, San, and you can request money every day in any amount. That's what separates Take Profit Trader. Once you get to the pro accounts, your payment policy is amazing. Stock small. Oh, please, Tim. I already did an example earlier showing how small cap stocks are a joke. Somebody showed up. I said, give me your best trade. They're like, I used $10,000 and I made $13,000. I'm like, and then I walked them through a very modest futures example, and the risk was $1,260 to make $20,000. On, again, a very modest futures example. So I'm telling you, small caps, it ain't where it's at. Oh, goodness. Traded Tesla for the first time yesterday. Oh, boy. Hermit, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you a whole lot of time and headache. You said, now all I have to do is learn how to trade futures. Please answer my question. Do you already trade right now? If so, what do you trade? All right, here we go. Here we go. Quite the spike right here. Something was telling me it was going to bust through the 50. So did you get long, Sam? Did you get long before it bust through the 50? Hey, if you are enjoying, friendly reminder, hit that like button. Let's try to get this up to 200 likes by the 2-hour mark. So we got about 17 minutes. I think we can do it. Part of the live stream is the length of the live stream depends on whether people are enjoying, and I gauge that question, are people enjoying, by the like button. So if the like button is continually creeping up, then that's a sign that people are indeed enjoying. So if you are enjoying, if you're learning, if you're anything positive, then make sure you hit that like button so we can keep the party moving here. Just watching. Oh, bummer, Sam. I was hoping you acted on those instincts. All right, so this is what happened. Come on, Hermit. All right, Hermit. I tried, buddy. Let me ask this to anybody else watching: is there anyone in the room right now that is like, I like Pam's plan. I like what you're saying here. Day trading futures through a prop firm seems amazing. But, so I have to learn futures, or where do I learn how to trade futures? Is that anybody here? Give me number 5 in the chat box if that fits your description. You're not trading futures right now, but you've seen all this and you're like, wow, I totally want to do Pam's plan. I totally want to day trade futures through a prop firm. What are you talking about, D? D, you have been here many times before. You need to just... the saying crap or get off the pot, D, you need to just make a decision. All right, Aaron J, Patty, Beam. All right, a lot of people. Okay, Versace, you're banned. Where's the man hammer? Versace is just trolling now because that's not... Let's see. Various has got to go. They've been playing too many games recently. Okay. So all of you that gave me a 5, my question to you is this. Do you already trade? And if so, what do you trade? So let me know. That's the next question to answer that. Do you already trade? If so, what do you trade? So I'm going to walk you through probably the false lens that you're operating under. So all of you that gave me a 5, follow-up question. No, I'm talking about the people that gave me a 5. So some people are like, NQ. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that are convinced they want to do Pam's plan. They want to start day trading futures through a prop firm, but they're a little intimidated. Hey, Sam, you're banned if you do that again. Don't be spamming other people's stuff here. I don't know who these other people are. I'm not going to allow my channel to turn into a funnel. Goodness. Yeah. Okay. So next question to all of you that told me what you trade. What do you use as your decision-making mechanism? For example, do you use charts to make your decisions? So whether you're trading stocks right now or day trading options or day trading forex or day trading crypto, what are you using for your decision making? Are you using charts, for example? You know, what you're looking at here. Are you using candlesticks, support, resistance patterns, RSI, like any of that stuff? Are you using charts for your decision making? Okay, great. I'm seeing a lot of people using charts. If your answer to that question was, I use a chart, you are 97% of the way there to understanding futures trading. Because 97% of futures is just using charts. If you like bull flags in Forex, good news. Bull flags exist in futures. If you like head and shoulders patterns in small cap stocks, guess what? Head and shoulders patterns exist in futures. So again, if your answer to those questions was, I use charts in any way, shape, or form, to trade whatever you were trading, you're 97% of the way there. Now, let me teach you the final 3%. So let's go through some basic math here. Let me teach you the final 3%. So the way that pricing works in futures is this. And how do you calculate profits and all that? Well, if we look at this number right here, 21,700 up to this number right here, that's 21,720. That is a difference of 20. 20 what? Well, in futures, this is known as 20 points. So that's a 20-point difference. Now, the key question that you're going to need to learn to ask in futures is, how much is 1 point worth? Again, remember that. How much is 1 point worth? We'll do the NQ. In the NQ, 1 point is worth $20. Okay? Now, this is all per contract. So here's my question. Let's say a trader, they buy right there, and then they sell right there. So they made 20 points. So a trader walks up and says, hey, on NQ, I had one contract and I just made 20 points. How much money did they make if 1 point is worth $20 and they just made 20 points? Answer that, all of you that are maybe, again, the trader's like, man, I just made 10 points on the NQ with one contract. And we know that 1 point is worth $20. How much did they make? For all of you that are, maybe, like I said, intimidated. Come on. Come on. I saw more people. Getting final time. For those of you that are a little intimidated. I love it. I love it. Okay. Exactly. $400. Exactly. $400. That's it. Okay. Option scalping is a joke. Day trading option scalping is an absolute joke. It's the epitome of working harder, not smarter. And I'd be happy to show you how, bags on hand. If you're an options day trader, you are working so inefficiently. So, okay, very good. So we're all now 99% of the way there. You're now 99% of understanding options. So now listen very closely. Because remember, all this math here was based on per contract. Now let's say a trader walks up to you and says, man, I had four NQ contracts. Now let's just do this. I had 3 NQ contracts and I just made 10 points. How much did that person make? They had 3 NQ contracts. How much money did that person make? 3 NQ contracts. Yeah. Sure. Exactly. Very good. $600. If we know that one contract through this math is worth $200, and then they owned 3 contracts, well, $200 per contract times 3 contracts equals $600. So if you can follow all that math, you now officially know how to trade futures. That's what I mean by it's a false lens. I understand it. Oh man, now I got to go learn how to trade futures. No. That's why charts are powerful, because charts are perfect for anything that has a value, and if that value changes as time passes. And good news, futures have a value, and that value changes as time passes. Therefore, charts are valuable. Therefore, you're at 97% of the way there. So the final 3% was this math right here. That's it. Is it open to Canadians? It is, yes. Pam's Plant, the prop firm right here, is indeed open to Canadians. Yep. Canadians, if you're... I named these countries because these are the countries I get most questions from. Hey, how do I access the American markets? So they're open to Canadians. They're open to the people in the UK. They're open to Europeans. They're open to people in India. And they're open to Australians. Again, I just named those areas because those are the areas where I get the most questions. Hey, I want to gain access to the American markets. What broker do you recommend? And now I can just say, hey, I recommend Pam's Plant. Again, assuming you want to be a day trader. So does that make sense, everybody that gave me the 5? Do you see how the math is like, it's very straightforward? What is the advantage of having multiple accounts? Well, you can copy trade them. So right here. So with Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts, which allows for what I call nuclear explosion growth because you can copy trade. So let's say you make 1 trade, and on that trade you make $500. But because of copy trading and having up to 5 accounts, what you could do is that 1 trade, you could copy that to 4 other accounts. So if you make this 1 trade, but you copy it to these 4 other accounts, well, what do you have? Well, you made $500 4 other times. So you make 1 trade for $500, but that is copied to those other ones. So then technically you made that $500 trade 5 times, which means, sure, you made $500 on that 1 account, but you copied it. Therefore, you're walking away with $2,500. So that is the power of copy trading. Now, of course, the warning there is if you make the 1 trade and then you start behaving like an idiot, well, guess what? You're copying those idiotic decisions to those 4 other accounts too. So there's give and take there. But yes, to answer your question, what is the benefit of multiple accounts? Right there, you can copy trade them. I mean, there's other benefits too, but that would be one of the main ones. Are you able to trade agricultural futures? Yes, yeah, you can trade all those other stuff. I don't know why you wouldn't necessarily. Like, why would you want to day trade that stuff? I mean, you can, but I would stick with, again, this is for day trading. If you're a swing trader, prop firms, they're not for swing traders. They're for day traders. The cost per contract is very minimal. So for NQ, to buy and sell, 1 contract is $5. So $250 to buy, $250 to sell. And I'm telling you on NQ, you can make way more than $5 in a hurry. How much is 1 NQ? It doesn't matter about the cost because it's all defined right here. So if you go with the 50K purchasing power, it tells you right here for NQ, for $119, you could go within each trade, you could go as high as 6 NQ contracts, for example. Now, this is not 6 contracts per day. It's just per trade. You can make as many trades as you want every single day. Per trade would be as high as 6. So how much does it cost to go up as high as 6 contracts? Right there, $119. And again, this per month is only during the test phase. Once you pass the test, then there are no more monthly fees. So that's why I say just pass the test within a month. What is the test? We'll show that you can make $3,000, but you got to manage risk. Don't lose $2,000. If you're saying, well, Clay, I've never made $3,000 in a month before. I assure you that because of this, and anybody else here can tell you also, that Because futures move and the way they add up dollars and cents wise, $3,000 in a month is quite reasonable. Again, not easy. I'm not saying that, but it is reasonable. So good questions, good questions. And good time, because right now we basically just have this bull pennant. We have the resistance part of it right here. We have this right here. So it's kind of just a waiting game right now. So good to talk about this stuff while we just kind of wait to see what this pattern wants to do. I may be interested in taking a long up through the breakout point here. So we'll have to see if it wants to do that. Hey, we are 9 likes away from 200. Can we get that 200 likes by the 2-hour mark? So can we get 9 likes in the next 4.5 minutes? If you have not yet hit that like button, please consider doing so. And if anybody here does day trade options, I'd be happy to show you real quick on how day trading options doesn't make any mathematical sense. So just let me know. Again, the argument is not that you can't make money day trading options. I'm just saying it's very inefficient. You're working harder, not smarter. No, Beam. You're missing the point. You want to work efficiently. You don't want to be like, I want the most risk. Well, options day trading has more risk because it's inefficient. So no, you're loving the wrong thing, Beam. Okay. Sam, I need you to listen very closely. Please explain why options day trading does not work. That's not the claim. You can make money day trading options. The claim is it's inefficient. You're working harder, not smarter. That's the claim, Sam, just to keep us all on the same page. So very quickly, why is day trading options just the... Okay, now it's pulling back, so keep an eye on it. But, so when you buy an option, the obvious way to make money is, well, you buy it, it goes up, you make money. Fair enough. Obvious way to lose money, you buy an option, you want it to go up, it goes down, okay, you lose money. But anything you buy with a value can do 3 things, right? It can go up, it can go down, or the value can just go sideways. Now, the rational person is going to say, well, if it goes sideways, that is the neutral. Doesn't go up, doesn't go down. Not so with options. In options, you also lose money. Why? Well, because there is something called theta. So let's think about this. Of the 3 things an option can do, 2 of those 3 will cause you to lose money, meaning you have a 67% chance of losing money every time you buy an option. But Clay, I make money day trading options. Again, the claim isn't that you can't make money. It's you're working harder, not smarter. So if you do make money, super impressive. But the question then becomes, can you imagine how much more money you would have made already? Can you imagine how much money you would be making if you did not have to deal with theta? Like, think about that. If you didn't have to deal with theta, how much better would it be? And that right here is where this comes from. For you options day traders, say goodbye to theta. Not to mention, futures move way better than options anyways. But even if we just assume that they move the same, why would you deal with theta if you don't have to deal with theta? It makes no mathematical sense. And that's what day trading futures allows you to do. Because they're both contracts. The big difference is the futures contracts don't have theta. So there you go. That is why literally day trading options makes no mathematical sense. I hit 5,000% on CRWV last week. Okay, well that's not day. You didn't day trade it and hit $5,000. Again, Pam's plan is an argument for day trading. But please don't come at me and be like, well, I bought this one stock 8 months ago and I'm up 5,000. It's like, okay, well that's swing trading. That's investing. That's not what we're talking about here. All right, I am interested in a short here. Ooh, that's actually a bigger stop than what I thought. I'll have to try to maybe tighten that up. Yeah, let's do this. Let me just get short there, stop up above here. Really slowing down quite a bit, so we'll see if it wants to come back down. What if the futures market crashes? Why would the futures market crash? Like, the futures market is actually a very legit market. Like, the futures market serves a lot of purpose for like oil and corn and soybeans. Like, there is like, it's a legit, very effective market. So if the futures market collapses, Aaron, I hope you own guns and bullets and fresh water. Like, that's the type of question you just asked. If the futures market crashes, there's not going to be small caps, Aaron. Again, the actual functioning of the futures market, I mean, you can go and learn about it, but if you're just looking to day trade it, that stuff doesn't really matter. But like the futures market is a very like legitimate market that serves a very real world economic purpose. So yes, per the premise, if the futures market crashes, you're not going to have the choice for small caps either, because that means grab your guns and ammo, brother. Is scalping worth based on the fees applied? Yeah, oh yeah. The fees are very, very minimal compared to the money you can make in futures. Do you have a website? I do. Here's my, or I guess... Who asked about it? Tim. Hi, Jim. How are you? There you go. There's my website. Can you put monthly payment on a credit card? Yeah. You just use a credit card to check out. But again, it's only a monthly payment during the test phase. You can take as long as you want to pass the test. Oh, and never came back down, huh? Now right up there. You can take as long as you want to pass test. All I'm saying is aim to get the test done within 1 month so that you don't have to pay that monthly fee over and over again. Just pay it once. Is there enough volume to trade today? Yeah. Today's been really nice, especially with the way it opened up. I mean, this was, yeah, plenty of volume. Now you're going to go trade 500 contracts? I don't know about that. I was about to get caught up in options day trading. Glad you popped up in my... Hey, Beam, that's why I'm doing the live stream, to educate people, to share Pam's plant with people. You are a good reason of exactly why that's the case. I want people to be aware of it. Which charts are you using, Clay? This is Tradovate. Is moving from swing to day trading difficult? It's just you just make decisions quicker. So instead of looking at like a 30-minute candlestick, you might be looking at a 5-minute one. So same decisions, you just make the decisions a little quicker. Right, because in all actuality, this could be a chart that you might want to swing trade, right? If we just pretend that each one of these candlesticks is like a daily time frame, okay. Like you could this could be a swing trading chart. But like I said, the difference would be, well, this is now a 2-minute chart. So each one of these candles, instead of taking an entire day to form, like maybe you're used to as a swing trader, each one just takes 2 minutes. What could my stop be if 30? Man, these are still pretty wide stops. And this is so just, it's getting a little bit more sketchy. Thinking about a short though. There we go. Short at the red line, stop up there. Hey, Cole, good morning. Do you have slippage getting in and out of trades? No. Now, if there's something crazy going on, there can be slippage. But yes, for the most part, very, very, very tight spreads. Because they're very, very, very liquid markets. Like I said, if you're in a trade and Trump tweets something, then yeah, that there can be slippage. Because it's like, okay, but there's slippage in everything across the market when things like that happen. But assuming that, you know, Trump's not tweeting or anything like that, no. All right, I'm going to cancel that out. The way it's coming back up here now, if anything, this might be looking like a breakout. With big news, you'll get a little slippage. Yeah, exactly, George, yeah. But most times you'll know when that news is going to come out. Like yesterday, for example, everybody knew when it was going to get very spiky because everybody knew when the Fed meeting was. Well, let me put it this way. You should have known when it was going to get spiky because you should be using the economic calendar, which tells you events such as the federal meeting yesterday or the Fed Reserve meeting. Yeah, to be fair, though, some news, if it just comes out of nowhere, then yeah. But yeah, most news, you're going to know when things are going to get a little jumpy because, you know, that's why you should be using an economic calendar. should probably get this trend line in play. Let's keep an eye on that. How about CRCL tomorrow? What will be? I don't know anything about CRCL. I don't day trade stocks anymore. I got 20-point slippage 2 days ago. Not my favorite. 8:30 a.m. news. Well, I mean, my question to you, UYC Trading, is why were you in a trade at 8:30 a.m. news? Did you forget about 8:30? Did you forget to check that calendar? Like I said, this is just search that. And I mean, you have a bunch to choose from. All right. So like yesterday, right here, I mean, you were told when the markets were going to get spiky. 2 p.m., FOMC interest rate decision. You knew things were also going to get spiky when, Powell is making a speech at 2:30. Right here at 8:30 a.m., you knew that things would probably get a little jumpy because they were announcing initial jobless claims. Now, there's some things that you're kind of you're not sure of. Like, does the market really care about building permits? Probably not. So that's why you do need to keep somewhat involved in the markets to have an idea of what things the market's caring about. If you decide to open 5 accounts, does each one have to go through the test phase? Yes. Yep. Any tips on a good stock? Well, JCIs, are you day trading or what? What are you doing? Are you a swing trader? Are you a day trader? Are you an investor? Anyone else get long here? I'm thinking about getting long. Again, this line here is the overnight low, an important area in the world of futures. Forex Factory is good because it shows you the impact with red being the most. Oh, really? I have heard of Forex Factory before, but I've never. But I think they give you a ton of them, don't they? Yeah, that's what I don't like about it. Like, I don't care about German. Yeah, that's good. But I don't know. That's kind of overwhelming when they're unless you can just show it to USD. Can you change it to just USD somehow? Maybe. Again, look at that rejection right off the pink line. That is the key. This is the key point right here. What is that about? 736. Another rejection. Oh boy. And then we have this key trend line down here. So we have basically this big old triangle that is in place and the price continues to just kind of chop around in between. All right, is that a serious question, Mikey? Oh, you can filter them out? Okay, that's good then. You can filter out the countries you don't want. Oh, cool. All right, I'll have to look more into that. Appreciate that. Long looking good. Where are you thinking getting long at, Thomas? Where were you getting long? Where's your stop loss at? I agree, long is looking interesting, but I don't know how I want to necessarily play it, if I want to play it, because if anything, I probably would buy up here. Wait for it to see if it actually wants to break out. Oh boy, now we're getting the, or do I play the long right here, try to play it, a bounce off the lower trend line? I might try that. Do you think it is a good time to buy Marvel for a long time? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know anything about MRVL to give you like for a year. I mean, I appreciate the specificity for a year, but yeah, I have no idea where MRVL is going to be within a year from now. Zero idea. What I've learned is don't hesitate if you have an idea. Take it. All right, San. Yeah. Sometimes hesitation is not the greatest thing. Enter trade. Looking at 7133. Well, where's your stop loss at, bags on hand? Please don't tell me you just entered with no stop loss. All right, this is getting spicy. I don't know. Is this more of a short here? Let's see. I might be looking to take this short. What was the trade I took earlier? This right here, I think, right? Yeah, I took that short, I think, with a break right there, and I got some movement. Unfortunately, the party ended, that spiked back up. But, yeah, maybe I'll try another trendline break here. There's a green filter button up in the top right-hand corner. Thanks, John. Descending resistance trendline. You feel a flush is coming. All right. All right. Did somebody knock? Yeah. What are you gonna? You've asked 10 times if you can come in. You can come in.
Well, so you say we can go to Walmart tomorrow.
No, it's Walmart's tonight.
I just want to make some money.
You want to make some money?
Yeah.
You want to say? Oh, it's at the trend line.
I think it's going to go up.
You think it's gonna go up?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. All right. We'll go with one. Here we go. Should I buy? You think it's going to go up?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we missed it. We missed it, but you're right. Look, it's going up. It's going green. But I missed the entry point. I was too slow buying. Oh, people are saying hi to you. Say hello.
Hello.
Look, you were right. It is going up. We'll see if it gets some more green here.
I think it's after this can make some more money.
Well, we haven't made any money yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still watching.
Yeah.
Oh, you had a better day yesterday than Chris.
Yeah.
I did. I tried to buy. I was too slow, and then it started to bounce and leave me behind. Look at that. You were right so far. It is showing some green. See the little green bar forming?
Do you make money?
A little bit today. Today's kind of been a little bit of a rougher day.
You think it's going to go down or up?
Oh, I kind of think it's going to go down, but you're right so far. You said up. And look at this. Look at the green bar coming ever since you said up. I was thinking more so down. Look at it continue to go up. I was too slow. Does Mommy know you're in here? You're not going to get trouble for being in. Are you supposed to be doing something else right now? Are you supposed to be cleaning?
No, it's not Sunday.
You mean Saturday?
It's not Saturday.
Yeah, you're right. Are you supposed to be doing something else right now? Look at that, kid. Good job. Up it went. I think you're supposed to be doing something. Are you being sneaky coming in here?
No.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, look at Kyle. Just gave you $5 for your belated birthday. Say thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
That's very kind of you, Kyle.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Maybe. Probably we can. This time we can watch a movie this time.
No, we're not watching a movie tonight. We're just going to Walmart.
Yeah.
You now have $65. This chat is spoiling you. Futures is open today. Yep, they are open until 1 p.m. Eastern. So open for another about 90 minutes.
It's going to like 1 minute.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Oh, look at that, JJ. Another. Say thanks, JJ.
Thanks, JJ.
No, speak right into the mic.
Thanks, JJ. Hey, Dad, I think
The market's open back up at 6 p.m.
I think it's going to go down.
You think it's going to go down now?
Yeah.
All right. Should I get short?
No, let's get out.
No, short means we would make money if it goes down.
Okay,
Should I get short then?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're short. We'll put our stop up here just in case. Because not everybody can always be right. But let's see. Oh, okay. We're making a little bit of money. Oh, we're making some money. Tell me when you think we should get out. Should we get out?
Yeah.
We made... Hey, good job. Yeah, but you were right. We went down enough to make some money.
And how much money I made?
We made like $3. That's like a pack of gum.
Hope I get get to come for my birthday.
No, you think so?
Yeah.
Good call. Good call. You said it would go up. It went up a little bit for a scalp. Now it just went down enough for a little bit of a scalp. Good job. All right. Daddy's got to get back to it, okay?
Bye.
So, one more time, say, thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. Bye.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you, JJ.
All right.
And say bye.
Yep.
Hope you have a good day.
Very good. Oh, my order's out there still. Do you see how easy it is to forget the orders? I almost did a bad trade, Kit. Yeah. I forgot an order. That's why, again, like I said at the beginning of the live stream, learn to love that button. It might have been a good trade because it would have gotten me long. I don't know. Yeah, right now I would be okay. I'd probably actually been happy with it. Yeah, Kit is a way better trader than I am. She is actually human, though. Yesterday she showed up and she had her first losing trade, but as we all witnessed, she was very solid in the risk management department. She's like, you better get out. And then I got out, and then the thing, if you remember, plunged like way more down. So she had no ego. She said, yeah, let's get out. And then, so it was great risk management. Millionaire by 10. Well, right here, the purple line, 50-period moving average. That's right where it's finding buyers right now. Thank you, DiCaprio. Entry 720, take profit 750, stop loss 700. All right, DiCaprio. I'm sorry, Thomas. Is Thomas in? Yes. All right, Thomas is in. I appreciate it. Nothing but respect for you to throw out the numbers ahead of time. Nothing but respect there. How many bloody bath years before you can say you're... Oh, I don't know. Everybody's different. I mean, I have a biased answer, but I don't have any credibility in my way of saying I think how you can speed things up. Doesn't guarantee anything, but at least speeds it up. But I have no credibility in that regard because everybody can rightfully say, well, of course you're going to say that, Clay. But it's what I did with my real estate investing, and it served me well. I taught myself how to trade. It took a long time, was very, very costly, which is why when I got into real estate investing, I gladly was like, I'm not going through that again. And I invested a little under $5,000 in my real estate courses when I was first learning real estate investing. I'll just put it this way: I've gotten a good return on investment. In many ways, just because of the dumb things I was taught to avoid up front. There is so much savings in just simply knowing what to avoid, right? A penny saved is a penny earned. So if you just know what to avoid right there, that's a very profitable thing in and of itself. Not the Stanley. Hey, Crackhead. Crackhead shows up literally like every 3 weeks. Says something, and then he just disappears into the mists. I have an insider track in real estate. My father-in-law is very successful. Nice. Very nice, Travis. We're Yeti people over here. I can't afford Yeti. I don't know what this brand is. It's good, though. I think it's from Costco. I can't afford the Yeti. Isn't a Yeti cooler like $5,000 or something crazy? One of the few nearly sure things is buying farmland in Iowa. Yeah, I'd like to think that was a reasonably good decision on my part. Whew, we were right on the cusp. Do we get the breakdown? Or is this kind of officially kind of the slow little chop here now? It could very well be the slow chop. Market closes in 88 minutes, if my math is right. Yeah, 88 minutes the market closes because we have an early close today. The U.S. stock market is totally closed today, but the futures market is open until 1 p.m. So I normal days, this would just be considered kind of late morning trading, but within the context of today, we're already kind of in like late afternoon trading. Oh, is Trump talking right now? Can you trade futures without the prop firm? I mean, you can, Jay, but don't. Why would you risk your own money? Like, I don't think, Jay, like, especially if you've never done it before, your money can be gone just like that. So, yes, you can trade futures without the prop firm. I don't know why you would want to do that, Jay. Why would you risk your own capital when you don't need to? Especially in futures. I'm telling you, this part right here of futures is no joke. Is no joke. Especially if you've never traded futures before. Would you ever switch over? No, no. Okay, and that's a fair point. So what JJ is basically saying is, but if you use your own money, then there's none of this. If you use your own money, then you know what? You don't get to keep, because with Pro, you only keep 80%. With Pro Plus, you keep 90. But if you use your own money, you get to keep 100% of the gains. That's true, Jay, but let me ask this to everybody. You also get to keep 100% of something else. What is this something else that you get to also keep 100% of? Again, well, I'm going to use my own money, so I get to keep 100% of my gains. Okay? But you also get to keep 100% of something else. What is this something else? Thank you, Premier Auto Styling. I'm just deleting your comment because I'm not trying to overwhelm people with a million different prop firms. We're take profit trader here because I'm under the assumption most people are new to the prop firm world. So I just don't want to overwhelm them with like 10 different prop firms. I'm just trying to make the path as easy as possible. Exactly. You also get to keep 100% of the risk, 100% of the losses. So to me, it's like an insurance policy. Sure, I don't get to keep 100% of my gains, but if I have a huge protection against me going on tilt or me FOMOing or me revenge trading or a Trump tweet where I'm actually behaving properly, but then Trump just says something or there's some sort of random news event and there's a massive spike. I mean, especially in this day and age with the Trump economy, it would be so scary to trade with your own money because 1 minute everything could be going right and then boom, just like that, a spike against you and then you get slippage on stop losses. I mean, whereas if that happened in the prop firm, sure, you may lose your prop firm account. But what is your actual cost to that? A couple $100 at most. So I'd rather lose a couple hundred as opposed to a couple thousand. All right. I really was. I realize right now this doesn't mean anything because I'm armchair quarterbacking. But I promise, I was so thinking of getting short there. Bummer. Travis says the drawdown amount is always that amount. It follows you up unless you lose. So if your drawdown is $2,000 and then one day you lose $1,500, the next day you now have $1,500 left that you're allowed to lose. But if you make, let's say, $500, the next day your drawdown is not $2,500. It's still $2,000 because it's trailing you up. It's making you stay extra disciplined in the risk management department. What's the purple line? The 50 period simple moving average. Yeah, kid did say get short, but she also told me to get out before it spiked up. So she was doing more so scalpy scalps. She did say to short, but also to keep things accurate, she did tell me to get out for the little gain, which was a good call because then it spiked up and would have taken us out anyways. All right, I'm going to chase, but I'm going to chase wisely by only doing one. And this isn't a total chase, but yeah. All right, let's see if this wants to keep bleeding. Somewhat of a chase, but I'm chasing wisely. Only one MNQ. A little bit of FOMO, but I'm FOMOing without argue in a wise way. 3 layers. Layer number 1, it's in a prop firm. Layer number 2, it's the MNQ. Layer number 3, it's only one MNQ. So that's the nice thing about prop firms too. They allow you to FOMO, but you can FOMO in very risk-controlled ways. Because yeah, if this, I don't know. I'm having flashbacks to this. I don't want to miss out on one of these if it happens. So we'll see though. So FOMO, total FOMO trade, but again, FOMO in a wise way. Sounds like I get to keep 100% of my sanity. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah. It's a good deal. But props to you, Aaron. I mean, to think that you had $10,000 to throw into a trade. Do you know how many failed tests you could go through, Aaron? Like, do you know how many accounts $10,000 could buy you? Like, holy smokes. And I am so close to getting stopped out. Out. That's why you don't want a FOMO. Hey Clay, what's the best approach to do copy trading from your experience without ever risking multiple? I think that's a contradiction. Because if you copy trade, you are risking multiple accounts because that's the definition. You're trading multiple accounts, therefore you're risking multiple accounts if you're copy trading. So I think your question is kind of like maybe I'm misunderstanding it, Jay, but I think that's a contradiction. Because again, in order to copy trade, you must do multiple accounts. So therefore, you are taking on risk in those multiple accounts. So you can't copy trade without risking. You see what I mean, Jay? Assuming I'm understanding what you're asking, you're basically asking me, how do I draw a square circle? Or, hey, brother, how do I become a married bachelor? That's kind of what you're asking me. How can I become a married bachelor? Don't do copy trading. That's how I mean, Dimitri, maybe it hasn't worked for you, but I can say, at least for people in my community, in fact, Mark, I don't know if he's here, they do quite well with copy trading. So, I mean, that's fair enough. Maybe not for you. You shouldn't be doing copy trading because for some reason it doesn't work for you. But I don't know if that's... I'm not quite sure that's... to make a blanket statement is true. How do you trade it wisely using multiple accounts? Well, by the one trade that you're making, trade that wisely, because that... If the trade you're making is a wise trade and you're behaving wisely, well, you are copying those wise decisions to your 4 other trades. So how do you trade it wisely? By whatever trade you're taking, make sure it's a wise trade. Because again, those decisions are what you're copying to those other accounts. Why are your 50K account so much expensive? It's not. No, it's not expensive. So for 50K purchasing power, it's $119. That's like crazy cheap. Like literally your entire risk is $119. So maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're asking. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I have. I don't. Yeah. I don't have the guts. I don't have the guts to get long right there. Is this the start of a new? Can we have this up, down? Is this up now going to be? I think that seems more likely than not. So I'm not going to try to buy right there because if it continues on down. But like I said, the market closes again, and I apologize for repeating myself, but there's always new people getting logged on. The market does close at 1 p.m. Eastern. Could market go back up after this bank? Yeah. It could. But the word could gives me a lot of wiggle room. Because, yeah, it could go back up after this holiday. It could also crash. It could go sideways. It's a live account that we can trade and track profit. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't know what that means. It's a live account that we can trade and track profit to our... Yeah. A prop firm, that's what happens. Prove that you can trade, pass the test, get into the pro account, and then, yeah, you can start to get what are called payouts. That's where the prop firm sends you money. But like I said, I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. How rigged do I think the markets are on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, are we talking about in a day trading sense or investing sense? Yeah, Dimitri. I think that's probably my approach too. I think what you do probably works best for me. But yes, to your point, we're all a little different in that regard. Okay. Well, I personally think the markets are rigged long term to go up. So like investing, like I feel very confident that if you buy, like the SPY or the VOO or some sort of ETF, I think 30 years from now you're going to be up higher than where you are. So from that sense, the markets are rigged, but it's irrelevant if they're rigged. How is it irrelevant? Let's just assume that they're totally rigged. And let's say that they're being manipulated. And let's say let's see if we can figure out. So this area right here is 100. And let's say that, and this is occurring, right? So the answer is my point is, who cares if they're manipulated? But let's just say that they are manipulated. So let's see if people can figure out what the manipulation is. So you're watching the price. Okay, can anybody tell me what is the rigged? What is the manipulation that's happening here? Can anybody take a guess? Again, the premise is that there is some sort of manipulation. There is some sort of rigging going on in the market. Can anybody see in this situation, what the manipulation, what the rigging is? Yeah, Raider, you're exactly, yeah. Listen. Exactly. I can trade whenever I want, how I want. Exactly. If you want to be a degen, go be a degen. In fact, that's such a ridiculous comment. It's out of here. Like, what is that? What absolutely nonsense. Tell me you're a degen without telling me you're a degen. Again, what is the manipulation that's happening here? Yeah, I agree. It seems as though the manipulation, for whatever it is, don't let it go down below 100. Okay, so next phase. Let's put our brains together. Is there a way that we as just normal traders, is there a way that we could maybe make money from this manipulation? Any ideas? Any ideas of how we could make money from this manipulation? So again, we've conceded manipulation does exist. Is there any ways, can anybody think about anything of how we could make money from this manipulation? Again, let's deploy some brain power here. Any ideas? Buy the dip, that's nonsense. Where do we buy the dip? Ty, that's terrible advice. Or that must be a joke. Okay, there's the ha ha ha. Okay, unknown. Where do you buy calls? Where do you buy calls? Somebody said buy the dip, buy call. Okay, but where? Where do you buy? Well, some of you, I agree, are geniuses. Like, well, why don't we just buy like right at 100? Whoops. I agree. So my point is this. This is why I love charts. This is why technical charts are great. Technical charts track the price. What is being manipulated if you just assume that there's manipulation. Again, whether or not there is, that's a whole other topic. But let's just assume that there is. What is being manipulated? Well, the price is being manipulated. What tool do we use to track the price? The chart. In other words, the chart's not going to be able to hide from manipulation because the very thing that is being manipulated, the price, is what the chart is helping us observe. So, is there manipulation? Is there not? I don't care. Irrelevant. Because in that situation I just showed, it's gonna appear on the chart. I want to know 50K account. Is that? Yeah, it's the. Never mind. Never mind. Some of you make this so hard. The answer to that, as an FYI, for people are like, hey, how can we make money if this isn't a manipulation? I'm kind of shocked that like only 4 people got it. The right answer to that is buy at 100. That was the correct answer. Buy at 100. Right? Oh, goodness. It is so tough trading shortened days like this. Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, this opening part that we watched together live, that was some great movement. Oh, look at this. Are we back testing this line right here? We are. Look at that. The back test of that trend line right now. Nice breakout there. Again, I'm kind of sketched out on the day. Because now this feels like a holiday-ish type day. I'm still going to give it a chance. I'm still going to watch, but watch it going to 21,786. Oh, that's a gutsy call, Ken. So where are you long at, Ken? And where's your stop at? Ken says this thing's going up to 21,786. Okay. Where are you long at, Ken? Do you set a time? Normally I'm done. Way before I got into live streaming, I was always, I aim to be done at 11 a.m. at the very latest, 90 minutes. But then when I accidentally started live streaming, and I mean that very literally, if you go back and watch the first ever live stream in the archive, you'll see it was a total accident. But the live stream has kind of turned me into now a late morning and afternoon trader, which is why I always scale things down because I've never really been a good afternoon trader. But because the live stream likes to see live trading, I'll do some live trading. Everyone like this stream. Boost the YouTube. Elgo for... Thank you, Quinn. Yeah, let's get this up to 250 likes. We're 15 likes away. So if you are enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. It's a communication mechanism to me of how I gauge if people are interested or not. We are entering the last hour. I'm hoping for some movement. Yeah, I am interested, Brian, in that. So this is we're entering into quote-unquote power hour, kind of the last hour of the day. So we'll see if there's any final movement here. I made 150 in one day off of buying calls. Just got to know. No. Day trading options is the dumbest thing, one of the dumbest things you can do, mathematically speaking. So that's not some sort of like random opinion. It's based by math. I've already demonstrated once. But if you're day trading options, you are working very inefficiently. Very, very inefficiently. Look at that. Amazing. All I did was extend that trend line out and then the beautiful back test of it right there. VWAP is on. Yeah, where's VWAP is way up here. So VWAP has been pretty much irrelevant throughout the entire course of the day. Where'd Ken go? Ken, where's your... I hope you got to stop, Ken. You said we're going up to 786, man. We're kind of dropping the opposite way. Hopefully you got to stop in. Woo! Todd, man. He's sounding smart. There's an anchor VWAP pinch. No, Todd. Around here, we call that the sparkling dolphin. Please call things accurately, Todd. Use the right terms. What you described is the sparkling dolphin, okay? So you're trading the sparkling dolphin pattern. All right, okay, here we go. Sparkling dolphin, let's go. That was earlier. Oh, really? Somebody said we were headed up to VWAP market. Whoops. I hope Ken's okay. Ken, do you have a stop loss? Uh-oh. Ken probably will not reply. He's probably, I don't know. So I guess correct. Yes, the prop firm gives you everything that you need, including the real-time data. Yep. Quite the rollover here. No, Todd. You're actually using the sparkling dolphin. That's what you're using. Okay? Unknown. I'll just say it one more time. Unknown. Well, do we even know what country are you even in? Because sometimes I find myself arguing with people. And then it's like, oh, and then they're in a country where Pam's plant's not even available. So maybe to be fair to them. Oh, Todd. You just lost Raymond's account. Come on, man. Todd. It's an ongoing joke around here. All the things are called and how people love to just name them, all sorts of random things. So we're just joking. We like to come up with our own names for things. Miller, did you make a bag on the dump in April or pump from? I mean, yeah, I was in my investment accounts. I'm happy with my purchases that I made in my investment accounts. Yeah. Okay, Todd, I'm only deleting that because just don't bring up other people's names. Not because the person you bring up is like a bad person. I just don't know the vast majority of people because I just keep my head down, do my own thing. And I just don't want the chat to be like a funnel to taking people off to who knows who. Again, the people, I'm not saying that I'm the only pure good one out there. I'm just saying I don't know who most people are. So that's why I deleted that. I mean, it's already extended it out. It back tested it. It broke right here, came up here. That's the back test. And then down it went. I think Raymond is just joking around. Hey, Raymond, that's fine. You lost well, I don't know. What kind of account did you lose? A prop account or like your own cash account? Like where you just lost thousands of dollars of your own money? So you said you lost my account. I guess I'm assuming it was a prop account. Okay, it was a prop account. Yeah, to reset, you can just reset it for 100. In there with the FOMO. So I'm FOMOing wisely. Although I may get a little bit more aggressive on this one. And if I'm wrong, it'll be costly. But if I'm right, it should work out nicely. Because I'll look to add some more because I have a clear defined stop. There we go. I'm at 2 total contracts now. And when I say costly, I don't mean like my account's gone. Just, do you think you can get me a payout, Clay? No, Raymond. You're going to have to be... What? Raymond, is your... we all thought you were kidding. Did you seriously just take Todd's trade because he said something so you made a trade based on that? Like, were you seriously blaming him? We all thought you were just kidding. So I want to establish some context. Yes, what? Yes, you were kidding, or yes, you were literally blaming Todd for your blown account? Trying to add in another one right there. I still think this thing wants to come down. I'm blaming Todd. Okay, Raymond, I thought No, that's not how this works, my friend. You've got to learn how to think for yourself. You've got to learn how to trade for yourself. Todd didn't press the buttons. That would be the person in the mirror's fault. Shame on you for thinking up, or for showing up thinking that trading is literally as easy. Dude, you don't know. Todd's some random guy in a chat room. You don't know me. Don't be following me. Don't be following Todd. You gotta think for yourself, man. I wish I could trade was easy as going about things the way you're going about it, but it's not. Okay, took out one. Hello? Is this thing on? How about you start moving? Hello? All right, I don't like this action at all. All right, there we go. Have one left. Put my stop right there, and I'll follow it down now as it breaks down. Assuming it wants to keep breaking down, or is it going to snap back up and take me out? Green line is my stop, so it will be a green trade, just a question of how much of a green trade, because I don't know how far down this might want to go. And out. Todd, you're overacting, my friend. I'm just trying to tell you, just the way the room works. There's just a general thing in the room where we love when people show up and say things, and it's fine. But we just like to just kind of play on that, like by just naming things randomly. So that's good, Todd. No, we're not picking on you. That's just kind of the joke that we like to do. Like people are constantly telling me in the chat, hey, go take the, the mooing cow pattern. It's a mooing cow, Clay. It's a mooing cow. So it's just a joke. No, hey, Todd, you don't have to apologize to Raymond. Shame on Raymond for showing up thinking trading is as easy as following random strangers. I don't mean to be a jerk to you, Raymond. I don't, but I do believe I'm being compassionate to you by telling you the truth, as brutal as it is. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know who led you to believe that you can just like blindly follow people. I told you that trading is as easy as blindly following people. I don't know what you did is in reference to. But I definitely did not tell you that trading is as easy as just blindly. Not to mention, you just followed somebody in the chat box. What are you doing, dude? Come on, man. All right, Raymond. Well, now you know that it's time. Here you go, Raymond. Look, I'll turn this into a great plug. I'm offering this free class tonight, Raymond. It sounds like you could benefit from it. Very much so. So everybody is welcome to sign up. It'll be this evening. But there you go, Raymond. Sign up for that class tonight. 8 p.m. Okay? It will help, brother. All right, we are in officially power hour because the markets close at 1 p.m. Eastern today, so we have less than an hour left, so we'll see how the final hour goes. Markets again close at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then they'll open back up as normal at 6 p.m. Eastern. So, T-minus 58 minutes. 680. This looks like a potentially new key breakdown point. So I'm going to watch that from the short side. The price wants to flush down through there. Todd, please don't feel bad. Hey, Raymond, can you help Todd out? Say, hey, Todd, I should not have blamed you. I should be blaming the person in the mirror. Can you say something close to that to Todd so he doesn't feel bad? Demetrius is joking, by the way. To everybody here that thinks that this thing is going to the moon, he is joking, okay? All right, watching 680. I mean, I suppose you could try to get long there. I mean, that's not really my cup of tea, but to be fair, I mean, if you're thinking this is bottoming out and heading back up, I mean, you got a tight stop. You know, put a stop somewhere right around there. I'm not going to do, I'm going to put the question mark there. Oh, I don't want anybody to show up and say that I'm saying that that's what's going to happen. That's just thinking out loud. Price action has been crappy for a while. Hope. I mean, for my strategy, Dio, I don't know what your strategy is, so it's more than valid that maybe price action has been rough for your particular strategy. But for me, I've been very happy with it. Trading gappers. Oh, all right. I assume, Dio, you were talking about futures. But yeah, trading gappers is not really a futures thing. It's more of a you know, I'm not going to say you're totally gambling, but yeah, you're kind of gambling by trading gappers. Is this SPX 500? No, this is futures. This is the NQ we're looking at. Well, MNQ. Why? Okay, Dio, I bet I can read your situation. You're trading gappers, so you're trying to swing things overnight. So, Dio, be honest, I'm going to go into psychic mode right now. Let me know how if I'm close or not. So, I'm going to try to read your situation. You would love to be a day trader. You would love to be a day trader, but you can't be a day trader because you don't have $25,000. So therefore, because of the pattern day trading rule, they limit the amount of day trades you can make, so you can't be a day trader. Therefore, you are trying to grow that smaller amount you have up over $25,000 so that you can then be a day trader. So the reason why you're having to trade gappers is because you're trying to time these overnights. That way, because that's not a day trade if you hold overnight. So you're trying to swing trade these gappers to grow a smaller amount up over $25,000 so that you can then become a day trader. How did I do? Okay, trading a cash account doesn't solve anything because you will still run out of cash and you cannot day trade as much as you want. You do not have unlimited day trades in a cash account. But did I describe anything? Is your goal to have unlimited day trades? Like, does that sound like your ideal world? See, I just read his mind. I just read your mind. Isn't that crazy? Almost like I've been there before. Well, Dio, if you want to be a day trader, trade something that moves way better than stocks, which is futures, and you want to be a day trader, well, my point is you don't have to grow anything. You can stop taking on all that risk of trying to catch gappers overnight because we both know that things can gap against you. So if you want to just become a day trader right now, again, day trader being defined as having unlimited day trades every day, then you could do that with futures. Because futures, the great thing about them is right here, that whole pattern day trading rule, yeah, there is none. No pattern day trading rule. And then on top of that, when you use a prop firm, you can become a day trader for very, very little money. How little of money? Well, if you use the prop firm that I'm using and that I recommend, you could become a day trader. You could get yourself $25K in purchasing power for $105. So, Dio, there you go. Pam's plant for the win. Well, I don't know anything about futures. That's fine. You already use charts. And futures is 97% charts. I use prop firm. Well, then what are you doing? Day trading these stock? Now, what are you doing with this stock nonsense then? What in the world? Well, remember when I was sitting there saying, I mean, you could get long here with the stop right there. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, okay. Never mind, Dio. Never mind. Growing it for what purpose? To get it over the $25,000 mark so you can be a day trader? Is that why you're growing it? Is it the same as NASDAQ? Is what the same as NASDAQ? I'd be happy to answer Gallon Ho, but I'm not sure. Is this the same as NASDAQ? What I'm trading here? Yeah, I mean, it's based on the NASDAQ. Yeah. So is it the same? Well, technically, no, it's not the same as NASDAQ, but it is based off of the NASDAQ market, yes. I think I'm trading CFD or something. Ugh. What country do you live in? Oh, this would be a spicy short. You'd have both the overnight high, that pink line, and you'd have the trend line, basically offering a potential double whammy. You can see right here, the trend line previously right there rejected the price down. I'm from Kerala. Kerala, is that a country? Kerala, that's a country? Huh? Kera. Oh, it's India. Yeah. Well, you don't have to trade CFDs. You could be doing this. What I'm doing, Pam's plant, you could be doing this because they are open in India. So you don't have to trade your time with that nonsense CFD stuff. No, you don't have unlimited trades with your cash account because you have to wait for cash to settle. But that's right. That deal, if you want to go risk your own capital, that's fine by me. If you want to risk going on tilt, having a bad day, getting stuck in a gap down because you're trying to create gappers with your own money, go for it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go crazy with it. Go for it. We try to help, brother, but you can go do whatever you want. All right, let's see. Ooh, we're knocking on the door of that trend line there, huh? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We tried. If you want to work inefficiently, go for it. Go for it. But I recognize there's some people here. They're stuck in their ways. There's some people that are just Sergios. So I'm learning on the live stream. I've got the quicker I can recognize a Sergio, the better. Ooh, do I get long hair? I don't know if I trust it. Clay, I have one question. If I want to switch the profession from IT to trading, do you think day trading has future? I mean, yes, yeah. AI trading will do nothing to futures or to trading. Same general idea. Let's just say that, there's AI out there. AI is trading. And then let's say that we're looking at a chart and we see something like this. What do you think the AI is doing? Hopefully your answer would be, well, it seems as though the AI is not allowing the price to go down there. It's buying at 100 every time. So therefore the answer would be like, okay, well, we've recognized what the AI is doing. Is there any way we could make money from the AI? Hopefully the obvious answer would be like, well, okay, the obvious answer would be to make money from what's going on. Let's just buy at 100. So there we go. So no, AI is not going to, make it a difference because that's the power of charts. Charts is telling us what the price is doing. So the chart would tell us what AI is doing with the price. So no, yeah, day trading, it is what it is. Dio, for the last time, you are Sergio. The argument is not that you can't make money doing what you're doing. The argument is you're taking on more risk than you need to. You're using your capital inefficiently. You're just being inefficient as a day trader. That's the argument. Not that you can't make money. Not that you can't grow your account. The argument is you are working harder, not smarter. That's the argument. You are digging with the shovel when right next to you, you have an excavator. So yes, you can sit here and say, but I'm digging a hole. Well, that's fine. The argument is not that you can't dig a hole. The argument is the efficiency in which you dig that hole. And if you want to sit there with a shovel, when you have an excavator right there, more power to you. Yes, the props are the way to go. Yes. So I mean, in theory, but you got to learn how to day trade. Like day trading, you don't just quit so don't do this. Don't quit your IT job and just wake up and say, yep, I'm a day trader now. No, that's not how it works. Keep your IT job. Maybe build some other streams of income. Maybe get a part-time job that will fund your prop accounts. That way, when you're learning through the prop firm trading, you're funding it through like a part-time job. But do not, I repeat, do not quit your IT job and then just say, hey, I'm a full-time day trader. That's not, I mean, you could do that, but you're going to get wrecked because the pressure is going to, because if you're trading, because you got to pay the gas bill and the mortgage and buy the dog food and all that sort of stuff, the pressure is going to crush your head in. It's not going to go well. So keep your IT job. I would say pick up now, I don't know how much extra cash flow you have, so maybe the part-time job's not necessarily needed. But if you picked up a part-time job, then you could, start to learn through the prop firm. What is AI? Artificial intelligence. Should I go long here? There is a key demand zone. I don't know. Should you? I don't know what your strategy is. I don't know what your risk tolerance is. So you tell me, should you? I don't know your strategy. You tell me. Yeah, what Key Trader just said. Hamong Key Trader. Exactly. Perfectly said. By far the best ROI. But yes, when you're learning, prop firms, certainly make the most sense because newsflash, everybody does dumb things, me included. And I've been trading for a long time. But you're definitely going to do dumb things as a prop firm trader. So in the prop firm world, if you do a dumb thing and the dumb thing costs you $2,000, well, let me take a step back. Same dumb thing, two different situations. One situation, you're using your own money to start to learn with. Other situation is you're in a prop firm. So if you're using your own money and the dumb thing is a $2,000 loss, well, that's literally $2,000 of your money gone. In the prop firm setting, what is the consequence? Well, if you lose $2,000, you do lose the account because you've broken that rule. So they will take the account away from you. But that doesn't mean you lost $2,000 out of your own pocket. You just lost the account. Therefore, you lost the cost of the account, which in this situation would have been $119. So during the learning phase, you're going to have a lot more learning opportunity if your dumb mistakes only cost you $119 as opposed to $2,000. So that is where you get definitely the best bang for your buck within the learning phase too. I do price action and it is kind of changing. Like I said, Goblin Ho, I don't know your strategy. So you, with all due respect, you should not be asking me, should you be holding? You should have a strategy that you trust in. If you do not have a strategy that you trust in, then you should not be trading at all. All right, interesting dynamic here on the 5-minute coming up. Check it out. We have the down-sloping 50-period moving average. As an FYI, let me make this announcement. I'm just going to talk for Take Profit Trader because I don't know how other prop firms work, but make sure you're out of the market by 1 p.m. or else that's going to be a rule violation. The markets close at 1 p.m. Do not be in it. There's going to be so many accounts that get blown because people don't do their homework. They don't do basic research. They don't check their email because Take Profit Trader has emailed, I think twice now, hey, markets close at 1 p.m. today. So for anybody here in the live stream, if you are with Take Profit Trader, make sure you are out. Make sure you do not have any positions at 1 o'clock or else you are going to be, that you would be committing a rule violation because markets close at 1. So I can't really harp on that enough. But yes, so right here we have the downsloping 50. Will this act as resistance? That is the question. 5-minute is much better time frame to trade. Oh, Dio. You know what's even better than the 5-minute? Multiple time frames. That's actually the way to go, Dio. Multiple time frames. Again, The prop firms that offer 90% discounts are still more expensive because once you pass and you have to pay their activation fees, that's where the, $150, $185 comes into play. So I understand some are like, well, I'm going to use so-and-so. They're only this. It's like, well, yeah, but then once you pass, you have a boom, big activation. With Take Profit Trader, assuming you use code CLAY, and Take Profit Trader normally does have a $130 activation fee. But if you use code CLAY, that is $0. So you got to think things through about all the pricing along the way. With TPT, can I use NinjaTrader? Yes, you can. Right here. Your platform, your choice. There it is right there if you are a NinjaTrader user. How do you turn soup into gold? Oh boy. All right, Nathan, let me think. How do you turn soup into gold? I got nothing. How do you turn soup into gold? Add 20. Oh, good grief. That's a terrible joke. That's ban-worthy terrible. Like, I respect you less of a man now. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. My life has changed for the worse after hearing that. Instead of feeling hairs growing on my chest right now, I feel hairs falling out of my chest. They've already been falling out of my head. Now I feel hairs falling out of my chest. This is terrible. All right, we are right at 5:50 50. Is it going to get rejected? 40 more minutes until the market closes. Hey, if you are enjoying, hit that like button. We'd love to push this up over 300 likes if we can get there. So if you are enjoying, if you're entertained in any way and you have not yet hit that like button, please consider. That is a very valuable bit of data that I use to kind of gauge interest levels and if people are enjoying or not. So if you are enjoying, like I said, that I don't use that as a vanity metric. I really do use it as a piece of data to kind of gauge people's interest levels and should I keep the party going, should I not? Right now I'm wondering, do I really want to take this all the way up for another 40 minutes? But if we can make a strong push up to 300, I'm not going to say we have to get 300, but if we can make a strong push up to 300 right now, then yeah, we'll carry this into the close. But right now, I'm kind of wondering, I don't know, is 3-hour live stream good enough? So again, hit that like button if you have not yet. Again, not saying we have to hit 300, but hopefully we can get it up to at least, 275 on this push. Oh no, price did not care at all about the 50 period seemingly. Okay. Ooh, or is this just going to be a nasty fake break? Uh-oh. Is that a fake break? Hey, Sam, good morning. Nice, 276. Cool. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. Let's do this. We have 7 more minutes. Let's try to get this 7 minutes to get 18 more likes. So let's try to hit 300. Because in about 7 minutes, we'll be at 3 hours and 15 minutes. And if we want to, if you want me to take this to the close, or I guess we'll do this. It's been a while. Or $10 in super chats. There we go. So either 300 likes or $10 in super chats. Let's try to get this in the next, what is the math on that? 6 minutes. 6 minutes. I think we can do it. If not, that's fine. Hey, Ken, you disappeared earlier. You said it was going to go up, Ken. And then this big old move happened down. Then you disappeared, Ken. What's up with that, man? Close enough to 7:30. I'm out. Looks like it hit 7:30. Almost. Broadly, Jay, broadly, but I'm always fluctuating between multiple accounts, and some accounts I approach differently than others. So it gets a little squirrely in that regard with prop firm trading, because there's trading strategy, but then prop firms, there's also prop firm strategy. For example, if it's a test account, I'm probably going to get a little bit more aggressive in it. If it's not, maybe a bit less. How aggressive do you? I mean, like I said, there's layers within prop firms that, which is fun, right? Because there's many ways you can go about prop firm trading as a strategy itself. Sorry, I was doing coffee. Oh, convenient, Ken. When right here you make a claim about how it's going to be going all the way up, and then it goes down. I guess fair enough on your part. You're like, all right, I'm going to go make coffee. I don't want to watch this. So I guess that does make sense. Uh-oh. I don't know if we're going to hit 300 likes. We got 4 minutes to get 12 likes or $10 in super chats to keep the party going to the close. So if you want to have a literal impact on the party continuing and you still have a like, hit that like. I would think we could get it. We have over 250 people here right now. All right, maybe a short up around here. Do I really want to go red? Not that, yeah, who cares if I go red? I'm up 32 bucks. Like, does it really matter on a day like today? Hey, we need 5 more likes, 5 more likes. So no, do not give a super chat. I don't think that's going to be needed anymore at this point. Need 5 more likes. 297. I don't know what 297. Oh, that's the likes. All right, we've got 3 minutes to get 2 more likes because we got to factor in the JJ effect. So, okay, if this thing just explodes up through, it'll be a losing trade. But I'm trying to play a rejection off this former area of resistance. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, there we go. 304. We are going to the close. So we got another 35 minutes of the live stream now left. Thank you for pushing us up over 300. So people are clearly still enjoying themselves. So I'm going to keep going. We're going to close now. Trust me, it's going to go up. Oh, brother. Don't be one of these people. Dude, don't. Okay, I got to just cancel this out now. Listen. 1 minute, you're asking, should you do something, which clearly tells me you don't know what you're doing, and now you're saying that we should trust you, it's going to go up. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. It's not a good look, brother. Not a good look. 10 minutes ago, hey, should I hold? What should I do? Fast forward 10 minutes. Trust me, everybody, it's going to go up. And oddly enough, as soon as you said that, it's begun to go back down. Now, to be fair to you, I mean, it could curl back up, but it's always funny when people decide to say that, and then the price immediately does the opposite. Don't use indicators. I don't know what that means. Don't use indicators on here. I'm in nothing right now. If I was in something, these numbers, or one of these numbers would be fluctuating. I mean, in the long run, it would go up. How do you know in the long run it's going to go up? You don't know that. Don't use indicate. No, right. I don't. Was that a question or a statement? What are you saying? Are you saying that people should not use the RSI, or are you asking me if I use the RSI? Okay. Well, like I said, I was interested, but now that it's consolidating out, I really don't like trying to get short here. I wanted to see that price approach it in more of kind of an overextended state. Added and stop loss moved below last 5 minute candle. All right. Well, it seems to be going good so far, Ken. The big challenge, though, is this area right up here. The overnight low. You can see right there, it began acting as resistance right there. And then resistance right there. False little small breakout. Then went to back, act as resistance right there. And then as we fast forward now, once again, right up within the little range of it. So will it break through again? We'll have to see what happens. Really small, really low risk, but I got short at 7:30. I'm not going to say why because I'll get made. I don't think that's. That makes perfect sense to me, Todd. Okay. Is this another? Is this the bold face meow meow setup? I think Todd's taking the bold face meow meow. Okay, Dio, I'm not trying to be like a grammar kind of policeman, but I am. Are you asking questions or are you making statements? Because when you say then should use volume bars, I don't know if English is your first language, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I've learned that there's people from all around the world that show up where they're trying to talk and English is not their first language. But a question mark goes a long way. When you say then should use volume bars, are you asking if you should use volume bars, or is that a statement that people should not use, or that people should use volume bars? But sometimes punctuation matters, brother. All right, if this comes up here and then starts to come back down, I'm getting short, but I want to see a sign of weakness first. Because I got I can put my stop up there around 42, but I want to see, like I said, the price come up, maybe even poke its head slightly above the pink line and then start to come back down. And then I'm going to try to short. But right now, the 5 minute, I'm definitely kind of stepping in front of a train in some extent, because look at this 5 minutes, slow and steady grind. Uh-oh. Okay. Like I said, I want to see it actually push up a little bit, but it got rejected right at the pink line. So maybe a stupid requirement on my part. But again, my requirement was I want to see the price push up through and then start to come back down. Okay, get up through. Nope, got once again rejected right off of it. Well, I guess I should have just shorted right at it, huh? We'll see what wants to happen again. Hey, brother. Maybe San, but that guy, I think Ken is his name, he's only got 30 minutes for it to happen. Clay, do you enter with a stop sell after this sweep? Okay, well, I don't know what, I'm not cool, Frankie, so I don't know what you mean by sweeps. I mean, I'm looking to see if it's a fake breakout. So maybe we're saying the same thing, but I kind of call it boring terminology. Like something breaks out and it comes back down, therefore it's fake. So I just call it a fake breakout. So maybe that's a sweep. I don't know. But you're like in the cool kid club. Not me, Frankie. I'm not in the cool kid club. Yeah, so a fake breakout. Are you going to trade and stream Globex today? I don't even know what Globex is, brother. Getting extra hours on one of my jobs, raising price and everything. Uh-oh. Really? Well, what kind of store do you work at? But I thought tariffs weren't going to be paid for by the consumer. I was told tariffs aren't paid for by the consumer. Why are you raising prices? But I was treated like I've never read a basic economics book before. I was told consumers don't pay for the tariffs. So why, Fairchild, why are you raising prices on the store? What kind of store do you work at? Dollar General. So things are becoming less and less as a dollar, huh? Oh, look at that. Oh, what a silly request. Isn't hindsight hilarious? My silly requirement. I want to see it up through and then come back down. Hindsight's like, brother, you should have just shorted right there. It was right at the resistance. That would have been a nice little scalp. Or at least I would have been able to lock in some profits, have my stop in the green, and then I'd be sitting here in the sweet spot just waiting to see if this wants to roll over even more. So Dollar General is raising prices. Been raising prices for 5 weeks, going through and getting the rest now. Huh, all right. Almost like the products Dollar General is buying have gone up in price. I mean, am I in the right? Am I in the right ballpark there? That Dollar General, the products that they buy and then resell, their prices have gone up? You got to be kidding me. Oh, what a dumb requirement I had on that. I swear, this live stream sometimes the live stream really does. It makes me look like a genius. Then we have moments like this where I look like a total moron. Like, what? Who is this idiot? Why did he make that dumb little requirement that he wanted to see the price come up through and then come back down? Well, if anybody took that short, somebody was short at 7:30. Congrats. Sand, that had nothing to do with hesitation. It had to do with the a bad requirement. Where did this come from all of a sudden? All right, I mean, I guess we're in the back 30 minutes of the day. I might chase the breakout here. Okay, Galino, final warning. You're going to get banned if you start playing that game. Okay? That's not only my pet peeve, but many people's around here pet peeve. Don't play the I told you game. Okay? You don't even know what you're doing as a trader. You're armchair quarterbacking. You randomly got something right, so no need to flex your muscles. When 10 minutes ago you're asking us, hey, should I do something? Revealing that you don't know what you're doing. And let me be very clear. It's okay to not know what you're doing. We all start off in that spot. But if you're in this spot where you don't know what you're doing, and then you just start having diarrhea of the mouth and you start making a bunch of random predictions, and then one of them comes true and you're like, I told you, that's Bush League. So final warning. Next one, you're out of here. Why do you want... Ken, you've been totally normal. You're all right, Ken. You're good. Yeah, my shorting ambitions have been destroyed via the 5 minute. This is quite the strong candle here. Came all the way down and then ba-boom, up it went. So the demand clearly showed up. Sellers were feeling pretty good about themselves, and then demand showed up, and they're like, oh, joke's on you. So yes, I am no longer in the bearish camp. Dio, you should be using multiple time frames, Dio. As far as I can tell, you're only looking at the 5 minute. Bad idea. Now, you don't need to be looking at 47 different time frames, but looking at one time frame, no bueno. Well, I mean, that's fine to be bearish bias still across his VWAP, but I'm saying on this move right here, I'm going to pass on that. Well, Galino, and if you put some money where your mouth is, that's fine. This may be a really dumb trade, but I'm going to buy at that green line if it can come back up. I mean, we are just right at this key. That's a pivot point right there too, level. So we'll see if it wants to make a push up higher. All right, Dio, whatever. Thank you for confirming that you're Sergio. So Dio, mind meant is a Sergio. Angry Sushi. I'm short at 733. Stop is at... Holy smokes, that's a huge stop. Goodness. Like, so, some of you are, just as a reminder, Angry Sushi, you know the market closes in 22 minutes, right? Like, where you're like, if you have that big of a stop, your target must be way down here. Are you? Odds are you're probably not going to get either of your targets. I mean, it could happen, but just as an FYI, markets close in 22 minutes. And if you're with a prop firm and they don't want you holding into the close, just friendly reminder there, Angry Sushi. But your stop makes me think that you have a big old profit target too. So just as an FYI there. Okay, next time, Galino, this is how you get credibility around here. You've got to give us your entry point, your stop loss, and your target. You've got to give us those three prices before. I repeat, before the price gets to any of those levels. And even if you're wrong, we'll all respect it because at least you threw yourself in the arena and mapped it all out ahead of time. But all this hindsight stuff, But congrats on that trade. But the next one, like I said, give us those three numbers ahead of time. Like I said, Dio, you do your own thing, man. It sounds like you got trading figured out. So go with it, brother. Do your thing. Just remember us, just remember us peasants when you own your private island. Love the left side of the chart. Never exactly. Yep, looking to the left, I'm worth billions. When you look to the left, boy, it's easy to trade. You look to the right, where you have this void of darkness, oh boy. Oh boy. Things get a little bit more tricky looking to the right. I might try a long here. If it wants to come down, come back up, might try a long right there. See if I can try to capture maybe some sort of follow through up through. I guess I can get rid of this line, huh? Serve its purpose for now. Okay, I want to, again, I'm putting the requirement in. I know the requirement earlier cost me quite a bit, but I'm going to stick with the requirement. I want to see it first hit the green line. Oh no, don't do it to me again. Don't do it to me again. Don't make my requirements look stupid. Market, I'm on a live stream right now. Please make me look halfway intelligent here. Like I said, Dio, you clearly got trading figured out, man. So you just do your own thing, brother. Yeah, see, Galino, that doesn't mean anything. Those are all broad statements. We need actual numbers. What would your entry point be? What would your stop loss be? And what would your target be? But that is a broad statement that you just made. My next entry would maybe if there is a breakout. For example, if there's a breakout, how are you defining breakout? Is that 1 point above a level? Is it 3 points above a level? Is it 2 points above a level? What exactly do you mean by breakout? That's why when you give numbers, you define all those terms. So if this is 100 and then you tell us you're going to buy at 101 because you're buying the breakout, well, we now know that your definition of breakout is 1 point because we can look at those numbers. But when you just say buy the breakout, that's way too broad. That doesn't mean anything. You got to hold yourself accountable. And you hold yourself accountable by being specific. All right. We might get a trade. Yeah, I can keep my wrist nice and tight here. Let's see. Come down a little bit more. That's close enough. I'm going to get long at the green line. I am now long. Took one out. All right, took another one out. I don't like how I just paused there. We'll let the last one work for me. What is this? All right, I'm out. What was that nonsense? Well, I mean, it was a winning trade. I guess welcome to the last 17 minutes where things can get a bit jumpy. Clay, be careful. My prop firm is closing at... thank you, San, but... San, you should be using Take Profit Trader. I'm insulted. Looks like a flush is coming. Well, then you better get short, George. Where are you short at? Or where are you getting short? I don't know, Marvin. It sounds like it's kind of a case-by-case basis. No volume to maintain any run-ups. Kind of, Matt. Because I can use a flip side argument to say, yeah, well, if there's no volume, then that also means that there's no sellers to prevent a run-up. You know what I mean? So it cuts both ways. Yeah, I did take it very easy today because I was unsure of how today would play out. But yeah, at one point, this was, I don't want to say massively red, but yeah, went from... Again, given the scale that I used today, a decent size red to now nicely green. Again, I realize I'm not saying, like I said, if you watch past live streams, you realize that these numbers are very, like, kind of non-consequential. But given the context of the day, like I said, to use words, yes, I did take it easy. That's a fair term for what's going on. Again, markets close in 16 minutes, so it definitely, if I can say this because I'm using Take Profit Trader, but if you're with Take Profit Trader, make sure you are out of all your positions by 1 o'clock. Because that is when the market closes today. Early close, 1 p.m. And then it opens back up at... Oh. I was actually feeling pretty good about that long. The way it popped up there beautifully. But... Nope. How do payouts work with TPT? After you get into the pro account, and then after you clear the buffer mark, then you can request payments every single day in any amount you want, every single day. Best payment policy in the business, and which would be on day number 6, because the test phase is minimum of 5 days. But on day number 1 of your pro account, assuming you clear the buffer and all that, then you could start requesting payments every single day if you want, in any amount that you want. Opens back up at, correct, Floyd Nasty. Opens back up at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Galino, all we're trying to tell you is you're doing yourself a disservice when you make broad statements. And I illustrated this earlier with one of my trades where I was right from a broad statement. I was like, okay, the price is going to come up here and I think it's going to want to roll over. And guess what? It did exactly that. But I lost money on the trade. How did I lose money? Well, because when it came to the finer tuned detail, such as where to put your stop loss, yeah, I put my stop loss in the wrong spot. I got stopped out and then it rolled in my favor. So that's why I'm trying to push back and say stop broad statement trading. You're doing yourself no good service in terms of trying to figure stuff out. The payout policy is pretty cool. I mean, the payout policy is the best in the business. As far as I'm aware, no other prop firm allows you to request payments every single day in any amount that you want. Like, you could literally get daily payouts. Yes. And like Kyle says, use code Clay. Actually, you missed. No, I got to delete that. Kyle, you cannot have a typo with the code. But yes, if you want the current discount, you want to support the channel, code Clay. A win-win for everybody. You get a good promotion, 30% off, no activation fee. I get a little slice of the pie. It makes live streaming worth my time. So it's a win-win for everybody. There you go. CLAY. But no spaces. When you type it in, no spaces. Just CLAY. For me. For me. I think with Take Profit Trade, I think it shows up as all caps. I don't think you have to make it all caps for it to work. Yeah, exactly, San. That's why I'm shocked, San. You're not new here. I can't believe you're not using Take Profit Trader. I started trading Monday on plus. What country are you in, Floyd Nasty? No deal. Price action does not work. Price action the past few days has been great. Nah, man. I'm not trying to overwhelm people with like 5 different affiliates or, 7 different affiliates or 8 different prop firms. Yeah, I hear you, Marvin. It'd be a way to expand the pocketbook, but I am operating under the premise that I am bringing new people into the world of Pam's plan, of day trading futures through the prop firm. And I think a very easy way to overcomplicate that is to be like, hey, here's 7 different prop firms to choose from. No, I think the best way to go about it is give them the best, let them have a good experience with it. And then at that point, they can start to expand their empire. What a nice move back up. I don't know if I can trust it, but. Good job, JJ. I'm in Ohio. Well, why are you trading with plus 500? You should be doing Pam's plant, Floyd. Stop risking your own money. You literally have $200 at risk right now. Well, $2,500 if you've made $500. That could be gone in the blink of an eye with one bad day or one Trump tweet. There are better ways to isolate your risk. So hopefully you consider Pam's plant. Plus 5. I thought plus 500 was some like broker for foreign people. Yeah, I'm glad I did not take that long. Did not trust it. Still may go, but we've got 9 minutes, people. We are at the 9-minute mark. Take profit traders. And again, I don't know what prop firm you're with, but make sure you understand the rules. If they don't want you holding into the close, make sure you're out in the next 9 minutes. And if you have not yet, hit that like button. That'd be cool to, I think a new record would be 320 likes. So we are 9 likes away from a new all-time record of likes. So if you want to be a part of a record-breaking stream, hit that like button. Or if you're just enjoying, hit that like button. Always appreciate the feedback. Yeah, like I said, Dio, you're a Sergio. We try to help you, and you just don't listen to anybody. MNQ trade active. Entry 732. Stop. Okay, so market institution must not be trading in a prop firm. Or maybe his prop firm is okay with him holding past, quote unquote, overnight. Hey, Jaboni, way to show up for the last 8 minutes. Hey, there's 320. Amazing. Amazing. That's good stuff. Record-breaking territory. This is great. I had dentist. Did you bring him a pizza? Yeah, we did. We just had a new record, Happy Days. Most likes of a live stream. Amazing. Yeah, I've just never heard of an American using plus 500. But I will say this. You, Pam's Plant, you are risking more money than you actually need to. I blew up account yesterday, so I gave it a break today. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say today was terrible. Today was actually some decent action. No, I don't think that's why, Mark. I think it's just because not a lot of other people are live streaming. Good try, though. Your Jedi tricks will not work upon me. Yeah. Code Clay, Floyd Nasty. Check out the place at the top and use code Clay to get the discounts. Six minutes until the close. Hey, yeah. Market Institution, hopefully you'll be back. Good to have you. I'm sorry if you've been here before and I don't recognize the name. I'm trying my best to remember names, but unfortunately, I can't say that I'm totally smart. I can say I'm totally beautiful, but am I totally smart? Is my memory on point? It's not. Again, my looks, my beauty is on point, but is my brain always on point? No, probably not. All right. Well, welcome. Good to have you. Uh-oh. Kyle's trading the Iron Trojan Horse. I think that would be a good plan, though, to change it to the Gold Trojan Horse, though. Can I use Take Profit in Canada? Yes, you can. That's why I love Take Profit. Because the questions I got a whole lot before I came across them were from people from Canada, Australia, India, the UK, and then European countries. Hey, Clay, I'd like to trade the American markets. What broker do you recommend? And there was never really a good answer. But now, because Take Profit Trader is open to all those countries, I love being able to say, hey, Take Profit Trader. So, yes, it is open to Canadians. Market close in 5 minutes. I don't know. I'm trying to think, do I try one for the entertainment value? But I think at this point, if I were to send myself red, even though it's not, wouldn't be a big deal, that would just be annoying. I don't think I'm willing to risk the mental capital of being annoyed by just sending myself red. I kind of want to get short. It seems like the downside momentum has shown up, but like I said, this thing could just snap back up, and then I'm like, why did I send my, even if I went red by $1, I'd be like, why did I, that would just be annoying. I don't want to risk the mental capital. Do you pay American tax in other countries? I have no idea on that, Kyle. I don't know how any of that stuff works. Four minutes, folks. 4 minutes. If you're with Take Profit Trader or any other prop firm, make sure you understand the rules. Get out. Ken, so it's $119 monthly until I pass the test and a one-time fee of $130 to get to pro. No, Ken, if you use code Clay, it is not $130. That's part of code Clay. You get the 30% off, and that $130 goes to zero if you use code Clay, Ken. But yes, that is monthly until you pass. That's why I always tell people, just pass within a month. So you don't have to rush anything, but a month is more than enough time to get past. So that way, Ken, you could be all in. Your all-in risk could be $119. Exactly. Can I trade past close? No. Take Profit is for day traders. They don't want you swing trading. If you hold at close and then wait for the open, that's a swing trade. You're holding overnight. Take Profit, and most prop firms are that way. They are for day traders. That is why Pam's plan here. Okay, I saw what. Yes, Ken, that is the normal pricing. But again, that is the benefit of using code Clay. 30% off, and then that $130 that you saw on the website goes to zero. What is the basis for their test? Very straightforward. Depending on the purchasing power. So 50K is kind of the most popular. The test is this. You got to show that you can make $3,000, but they don't want you losing $2,000. There's a couple other very minor rules that are explained, but that's the basis. And again, you can take as long as you want to pass a test, but as I was just telling Ken, get it passed within 1 month so that you only have to pay that fee one time. Yeah, I'm with you too, Kyle. I barely know how the U.S. tax system works. That's why I have a CPA. Which, by the way, is one of the best investments you can make. A quality CPA is worth it. And by that, I do not mean H&R Block or TurboTax or what? Yeah, TurboTax. Is that it? Yeah, TurboTax. Is that the software? A human being CPA firm. Yes, they're more expensive, but I'm telling you, it's a great investment. You will get a great return on your investment. Do your test gains? No, you start all over, Mark. Yep, start over. How long is the test? You can take as long as you want. But I say pass within a month. Get it done within a month so that you do not have to pay this fee again. Because after you go from here to here, the monthly fee is 0. And you're still getting live data. You're getting everything live. So it's a great deal. And also with the code, usually to make that jump, there's an activation fee that prop firms charge, and Take Profit does charge $130. But again, with code Clay, this goes to 0. So it's literally 30% off and then 0 activation fee. So your all-in cost, your all-in risk could literally be $119. Or if you go with the extreme 150K purchasing power, your all-in risk could be $252. Because again, if you fail, if you break the rules, so in this situation, if you go and lose more than $4,500, it's not $4,500 out of your pocket. It would just be your account is taken away from you. So that just means your risk is $252. Now, the nice thing is you can always get your account back, which only costs $100. It's called the reset fee with Take Profit Trader. All right, 1 o'clock. Markets are closed. I just signed up. That's why I'm asking. Well, the most important question here, AA, is did you use code Clay? That is the most important question, AA. Did you use code Clay when you signed up? Of course. You are a wise man. What time do the markets... Mark. I'm sorry, Mark. But anybody that's been here for more than 10 minutes has known that I've answered that question about 5,000 times now. The markets closed at 1 p.m. Eastern, so they are closed. So I hope you're not still in a position with a prop firm, because if you did, you're probably going to lose the account if they have the rule that you cannot hold. But what was the question? So the 3,000 profit isn't right. Yes, this phase here, exactly. Good eye. What AA is saying is, wait a second. How do you pay $119? You give them $119, then they're going to let you lose $2,000 of their own money. Well, this is all happening in a simulated environment, right? Which makes sense. The test phase, somebody said it, so it's kind of like a job interview. Yeah, in a sense, you got to prove yourself. So also, I've had other people get upset. They're like, "What a scam!" So I'm gonna pay them $119 to make them $3,000, and then all I get for making $3,000 and passing the test is a pro account. That's all I get. What about my $3,000? Well, again, this is all a simulator, so you didn't actually make $3,000 either. But yes, that is how it is a viable business model. That is how it's not a scam, because again, it's a good eye. It's a totally fair question. That's a total scam. What's the catch? There's no way that that's a sustainable business model to only require $119 and then let somebody go lose $2,000 of your own money. Again, very good eye, very fair question, but yes, this stage is happening in a simulated environment. The market will open back up at 6 p.m. Eastern. I know, Mark. I know. You literally just logged on. That's why I'm laughing, because it's like, oh, man, I just said it. But that's fine. But yes, the market's closed at 1. When you reset, does it move your reset date? I believe so. I think so. I guess I don't know off the top of my head, but I would think so, San. Thanks. I'm only $100 from a payout and stop trading. Okay. Whew. Good job, Mark. That would have been that would have been bad. I'm long 5 contracts. Well, O'Leary, if you're in a prop firm, your probably account is roasted because you broke a rule. Depending on what the rules are with your prop firm. Trading Diego. No. I don't know what no is in regards to. But yes, should I exit my trade now? I'll assume that's a joke. But real quick, as far as because since we're on the topic of prop firms, I only recommend and talk about 2 prop firms. The first one, though, is for everybody, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. Take Profit Trader, I say, is the best in the business, best payment policy, a very clean set of rules, and their payment policy, if you're not aware, as soon as you get into the pro account, you can request money every single day in any amount you want. Now, maybe that sounds like, well, no kidding. But other prop firms, including Apex, you could make $5,000, but then they'll say, well, no, you can't request that money until, 8-9 days from now. But even then, sure, you made $5,000, but you're only allowed to request $2,000. Now, to be fair, you will eventually get paid all of your money, but it's a little bit more rigid. Where Take Profit Trader, again, if you make $5,000, then as soon as, for day one of your pro account, you could request the money and you'll, request all of it. And you can request money every single day. So that is why no matter who, and even people that have never done Take Profit, and then they get into it, and I'm not going to know beginners, they're like, oh man, this almost seems, like, is this real? Can I seriously request money every single day? And yes, you can. Now, Apex, to defend them, a lot of people out there accuse Apex of being a scam, being this, and they're not a scam. But what happens is beginners to prop firms. So if you're a beginner to the prop firm world, and then you start off in Apex, it will feel like a scam. There are so many rules. There is this, there is that. They're not a scam, but their rule book is much more complex than Take Profit Trader. So that is why, as a beginner, start with Take Profit Trader. Get your feet wet, establish yourself, figure out just the general idea of prop firms and all that. And then once you figure that out, and if you're looking to expand your prop firm empire because you want even more accounts, then yeah, you can look into Apex at that point in time. But just overall, Code Clay. If you want to support the channel, if you want to get the discounts at both those sites, Code Clay will give you whatever the current promotions actually are. So that is where I stand in the prop firm space. Just those two, because I want to keep it as straightforward as possible. I don't want to overwhelm anybody. I know some live streamers, they have like 8 different prop firms, which is fine. Everybody's got their different business model, but my model, I want to just keep this. I don't want anybody to be overwhelmed. So that's why I keep it straightforward like this. And again, if you want the promotions, use Code Clay. Well, the markets are now closed. Let's see if there's any. Just trolling, thought you'd rage. So you were trying to push my buttons to get me to rage, O'Leary. Is that confirmed that you were trying to get me to rage? Like you were trying to raise my blood pressure? Because that, in all honesty, that's kind of like a bannable offense. Like, hey, let's see if I can get this person to flip out. I don't know. I think I might have to ban O'Leary. The admission that he's just trolling to try to get me to flip out. I don't really appreciate that. I don't appreciate people trying to press my buttons to get me to get all, I'm going to take a poll. Should that be a bannable offense? Like admitting, hey, I was just trolling. I was literally trying to get your blood pressure up. So we're gonna run a poll here. Should I ban O'Leary? Intentionally trolling. How do you spell intentionally? No. Intentionally. There we go. Trolling. Ban. Yes or no? Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens with O'Leary. If you're intentionally like, hey man, sorry, I was just trying to get your blood pressure up. I was trying to get you to rage. I voted yes. All right, well, that's easy then. See you later, O'Leary. All right, O'Leary is gone. O'Leary just admitted. He said, I voted yes. All right, well, then see you later. He's always been kind of an off guy. He said go blue, which means he's the Michigan fan. So as an Ohio State graduate, that's easy picking for me. It makes sense. He's a Wolverine fan. Like, if you're a Wolverine fan, you got something wrong with you anyway. So that makes sense why, in all actual, there is always something a little weird about him. Always something a little weird about O'Leary. But now it all makes sense. He's a Michigan fan. Well, then you get the humor here, Mark. You get the humor. Well, you are as well. You're what? You're a Michigan fan or you're a graduate of Ohio State? Let's see. I don't know. Like, I will say this right now. You are. There is something wrong with you if you think it's funny or enjoyable to try to get another human being to like rage out. Like, there's something wrong. Like, I know some of you are like, well, I like to troll online. Like, that's weird. That is very weird. That's a weird thing to do. That is a bizarre hobby. Do you have a tutorial on how to set up? I think what you're asking about AA, and I think the answer is yes. I think what you're asking about is, hey, Clay, how do you set up your platform that you see right here? So right here, AA, this should help. There we go. So check out this video. Now, I'm not saying this is how you need to set up your platform, but this will at least give you the guideline, the breakdown of how it all works. Clay, send me your bank account and routing number. It's in the mail. It's in the mail. All right, well, I'm gonna call it good on the day. Appreciate everybody's time. Again, if you want to support the live stream and you're either already a user of Apex but you enjoy, you can hit that use code Clay. Or like I said, if you're getting into the game, code Clay gives you the discount. But yes, Pam's Plant for the win. Pam's Plant makes most sense. Am I stupid if I spent money on TradingView sub? No, I don't think so. A lot of people like TradingView, so no, I wouldn't call you stupid. So, all right, everybody. I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So back to the normal time, 11 a.m. Eastern. Make sure to hit that like button on the way out. And also subscribe, turn on notifications, because sometimes I'll hop on kind of random like today was. So if you want to know when I go live, then like I said, subscribing and turn on notifications will help in that regard. But fun session. We had a good one. I guess we had a little bit of trolling, but not too bad. Overall, though, a very good session. A new record with likes. That's awesome. I appreciate everybody hitting that like button. So yes, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. So everybody take care and have a good